Ali, 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 yeah. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for His blessings. Ali was the circle 7. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for His blessings. Ali was the circle 7. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for His blessings. Ali was the circle 7. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for His blessings. Ali was the circle 7. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for His blessings. Ali was the circle 7. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for His blessings. Ali was the circle 7.
All right, Islamism without the schism. Let us rise upon the 7 and give all praises to the great God Allah, Father God Allah, and honors to His holy prophet, honors to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, Al-Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali, that is. We give honors to our Moorish kin once again, here, there, and everywhere, and therefore honors to all of you who are continuously honoring yourselves by being yourselves. I want to come forth before you with another E.A.R.S session, another Egyptian Adeptus Research Sultanate session. And as we come forth, we call forth our beloved brother and Consul General of the Texas Territory, Dr. Marvin Nathaniel Edwards Bey, and open up your hearts and minds as he opened up the way. Peace and love. Islamism.
Islam. Yes, I'm Dr. Marvin Edwards Bey out of Texas Consulate. Praise Allah, honor the Prophet, and honor to everything that's Moorish. And I'll begin opening up our meeting with our Committian Adept Moorish American prayer. Ya Allah emnuheru mekunu netaru. Ya Allah ebhetheru. Ya Allah ma'adheru. Ya Allah hoteperu. Ya Allah heru. Ya Allah ma'adherkuti. Ya Allah awajet dejuti. Ya Allah patem sitek. Patem heru. Ya Allah bamaduti. El hedisve up to Ali. Amen. Holiest. In transliteration, O Allah, the Father of the universe. O Allah, the Father of love. O Allah, the Spirit of truth. O Allah, the Spirit of peace. O Allah, the Spirit of freedom. O Allah, the Spirit of justice. O Allah, you are my protector. O Allah, you are my guide. O Allah, you are my salvation by night and by day. O Allah, through your holy prophet. O Allah, Drew Ali. Amen. Holy yourself. And now I'll begin with our divine constitution of Moorish America. Salvation, our God, unity. The divine constitution of Moorish America, Act 1. The Grand Sheikh and the Chairman of Moorish America are empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of Moorish America. The Assistant Grand Sheikh is to assist the Grand Sheikh in all affairs, if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known for the citizens of Moorish America. By the bylaws, Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly, according to the circle 7, and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest, because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on a Friday the first man departed out of flesh, and ascended into his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all citizens of North America. No citizen is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. All citizens must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all citizens must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are a part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. No organization of Moorish America is to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all citizens must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and a parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slave holders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali the Prophet to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All citizens must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a parcel of all uplifting acts of Moorish America. Moorish Americans must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of Moorish America, and then you are entitled to the name of faithful husband. You must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of all humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his Father God Allah. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, peace and blessing be upon him, founding father and framer of the divine constitution and bylaws in Moorish America. And the meeting has now been opened according to law. And now we'll hand it over to our Queen, Goddesses and Queen, Dr. Dendra Neil Kurtabay. Islam Goddess.
Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Dr. Dendra Nia Kurtabay. First, let me rise and give praises to our great God Allah. I give honors to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. I give honors to Act 1. I give honors to all my government officials. I give honors to our National Assistant Grand Sheik for this wonderful, wonderful class this morning. And I give honors to you, Council General of Texas, Dr. Marvin Edwards Bay, for opening us up according to law and reading our bylaws and our Constitution. And I will be reading our chapter of the week, coming from our Holy Quran, which will be chapter 51, and it reads, Magistrate and subject, O thou, the favor of heaven, whom the sons of men, thy equals, have agreed to raise to sovereign power and set as a ruler over themselves. Consider the ends and importance of their trust, far more than the dignity and height of thy station. Thou art clothed in purple and seated on a throne. The crown of majesty investeth thy temples. The scepter of power is placed in thy hand. But not for thyself were these ensigns given, not meant for thy own, but the good of thy kingdom. The glory of a king is the welfare of his people. His power and dominion rest on the hearts of his subjects. The mind of a great prince is exalted with the grandeur of his situation. He evolveth high things and searcheth for businesses worthy of his power. He calleth together the wise men of his kingdom. He consulteth among them with freedom, and heareth the opinion of them all. He looketh among his people with discernment. He discovereth the ability of men, and employeth them according to their merits. His magistrates are just, his ministers are wise, and the favor of his bosom deceiveth him not. He smileth on the arts, and they flourish. The sciences improve beneath the culture of his hand. With the learned and ingenious, he delighteth himself. He kindleth in their breath emulation, and the glory of his kingdom is exalted by their labors. The spirit of the merchant who extendeth his commerce, the skill of the farmer who enriches his land, the ingenuity of the artist, the improvement of the scholar, all these he honor with his favor, are rewarded with his bounty. He planteth new colonies, he buildeth strong ships, he openeth rivers for convenience. He formed labors for safety, his people abound in riches, and the strength of his kingdom increases. He frameth his statutes with equity and wisdom. His subjects enjoy the fruit of their labor in security, and their happiness consists of the observance of the law. He foundeth his judgment on the principles of mercy, but in the punishment of offenders he is strict and impartial. His ears are open to the complaints of his subjects. He restraineth the hand of their oppressors, and he delivereth them from their tyranny. His people therefore look up to him as a father with reverence and love. They consider him as the guardian of all they enjoy. Their affection unto him begetteth in his breast a love of the public. The security of their happiness is the object of his care. No murmurs against him arise in their hearts. The machination of his enemies endanger not the state. His subjects are faithful and firm in his cause. They stand in his defense as a wall of brass. The army of a tyrant fleeth before them as chaff before the wind. Security and peace bless the dwelling of his people, and glory and strength encircle his throne forever. Islam, Islam, Islam. We will now turn everything back over to our host, our National Assistant Grand Chief, Dr. Sadua Mentiel Maheji Sepsuel. Are you there, God man?
Islamism is close as a love thought, sister.
Islam.
Islam, gratitude, Islamism without the schism. Shimotepu Moorish kin, Ankwajet Sanel, life, health, and prosperity be upon you. The peace of the ancestors I offer to you. Want to welcome our family to another E.A.R.S, Egyptian Adeptus Research Sultanate session. You know, we have a grand drawing in the assignment to be brought forth by our scribes. Want to give honors to our hard-working scribes, you know, who are working overtime to make sure that our people can get these special lessons. Teamwork make the dream work, family. You know, so it's an honor. You know, we able to move, so to speak, in meets and bounds as a result, you know, of us being here as a collective. You know, what more can we ask for than us being here as a collective, doing this work, uplifting fallen humanity, and bringing our people the lessons and the blessings when it comes to everything it is that our prophet brought and everything he taught, being an Egyptian adept master. You see? So without further ado or delay, what we gonna do, we gonna open up the way. We have a grand assignment to be brought forth this morning. Again, our audience and those who are listening to us also have the opportunity to be able to grow and develop in being able to reflect upon the language and going in a step-by-step basis, and they become more familiar with the Sekhet Shat, which is actually known in the English. Actually, it's more what they would call a Greek term, when they speak of Demotic. But we want to call our family forth at this time. Without further ado delay, we ain't gonna waste no more time. We're gonna call forth our first scribe so that they can begin to present what it is they demonstrating. Oh, Islam, brother Bati Bay, grand man.
Islam.
Uh-oh.
He trying to beat me in there. Go
No,
ahead.
hey, keep it real. I really wasn't. I have to get some more words. I only got one word. That's why I didn't. Yeah, I didn't do all the words. So I would really
all is well. Whatever you don't have, we know our Moorish king gonna have.
Islam.
Yeah, like we used to say back in the day, if you're scared, say you're scared.
No, we ain't scared. We just like to be fully ready. Islam.
Islam. Yeah, we just using a little Moorish humor. Islam.
Let's get to it then. Let me share my screen.
All right, Islamism.
Islam. First, I'd like to rise and give all man the praise to Allah, honor to the Prophet, honor to our theocratic government, our royal council, our flag, seal, emblem, our divine constitution, our swift angels, mufti, citizens alike, honors to all the Moors that are here in the sound of my voice, and all the Moors on the panel, all the scribes on the panel, and honors to our assistant Grand Sheikh. I was gonna say the professor because he's really like the professor, Islam. And let me begin. Share. Oh, whole screen. Entire screen. Islam. Where's that? There it goes. Islam. Can you see my screen?
Islam. Yes, sir.
Islam. I tried to get this portion of but I couldn't get it to where I can put the letters around the head, so never mind that. But the first part of this the lesson was it says create your own comprehensive abjad, hieratic / demotic facial recognition chart using the abjad demotic PDF attached herein. Apply your knowledge of sound shifting linguistics to map the demotic to the hieratograms already presented in the facial recognition chart herein. And so let me see if I can go back to the facial recognition chart just so we got that. What I put
in Islam part itself, brother. That chart that we already had, it would have been sufficient. I apologize, brother. If I didn't make it clear, but the one we already got.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's I see what a dilemma coming in at already. I apologize for that, my brother.
No, Islam, because this is basically what I was going through and doing.
Oh, you doing good. Yeah, on that aspect. Yeah, you working on it. Islam.
And so I was trying to use, because you did your chart was as usual on point, but I was trying to get the and basically let me just give the background of this. This is the chart, the hieratic and demotic letters, and showing how they phonetically line up with the hieratograms. And I was just going to put the hieratic, the demotic, the Arabic, and then if I put the English just to show that the sequence, to show how old this stuff traces back. I didn't get around to getting all that done.
Pardon self, you mean anaglyphs?
And the glyphs. Yeah, I said heredograms because when I was looking up trying to pull the words in, it just
Okay. Nah, I was just putting that measure on the plate. It's all
is
right. It's all right.
Islam.
You
And I'm
in the
trying.
you in the making of it, so praise be to Allah. Pardon myself, brother.
Oh no words. This is what we need right here. Because if I'm wrong, correct me, please. I'm trying to. I can't pull up the chart. I'm not able to pull up the chart from. I thought I had it on this thing. So where's the chart at? Here it is. Boom. Okay. Or not. That's over. Excuse me. Where is it? Okay. That's not happening. I'm trying to find that the other chart.
Sorry, it looks like you had it up there.
I thought I did have it up there with this right here. There it goes. Okay. Oh. Oh, okay. Here it goes. And this is the chart. You see, this is the abjad. Then it goes with the hieratic, and then it goes into the demotic, chart. This was here's and we got the Greek right there, and then this is the chart that I was really going off of. When I got into doing this on my document, the document I was trying to create, it didn't. When I was going to the not the Aku, but the other one, what is the graph? Not the graphene. What's that other chart that we got? The not the Aku, not the
You talking
graphene, but
about the one, the molar tube?
not the molar, the one the Asian brothers put together.
Yeah, that's the Aku, but it got different links in it. It's got the different links in it. So which one? It's got so many tools apart. I'm trying to figure out which one you talking about. Are you talking about the one where it give us the attestations?
Where it shows where the actual word shows on the map where the words where the letter
That's the new one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the new one. I was going on there to try to get these alphabets, and when it pulled up, I would only get the ones that are underneath the heratogram. This is what I would get, and then when I tried to do, as you said in our last class, is to do the phonetical change, or capitalize or lower. I still wasn't getting it. Then I did the this how it says why we got sheen or sh. It wouldn't. I couldn't pull those up. So this is really supposed to be here, and it would give two different for the arm. It would give the A in demotic, but then it would give this arm. And when I tried to copy cut and paste, it would only allow the arm to go up. So this is the this is what I got from that Islam. So I didn't really get to be able to put everything in its proper place. Islam. And so
Islam. You want to briefly as you move forward, because I know you ain't really got everything in here in the complete aspect, but it's okay. You want to pull up the tool real quick, and I want to see the navigation on it, and I can show you something as you go through it. Pull up the Aku tool.
okay, I see what you're talking about. Let me get to this screen.
Because we want to make sure our family, is able to use them demonstrations.
The
Because I know on mine, but you have to scroll in them too. There you go. You already got it up. There you go. Okay, so
so this is the Aku tool.
okay, and which one you say you had a problem with?
No, well, okay. So say when I was typing in, for instance, the letter. It's kind of hard because I don't have the sheet in front of me, but we had. Let me see if I have it. I would type in. I would type in this like the G, the Gim. I would
Okay.
go here and I would type in G
Yep.
and it'd pull this up, but then when I went to, it didn't give the what it showed on the I was actually looking for the actual translation.
Yeah, it don't put translation up on this right here. You got to go to the bottom.
Or like
You
this
know,
one, for
let's
instance,
see.
the L. When I put in the L,
Okay.
how it would give me this, the you see the L right here, it would
Yeah.
give me this.
Yeah.
But there's some ones that wouldn't change over into the letter. It wouldn't
Yeah.
change over.
Yeah. I think it was one of them that might have did that. But the rest of them should have mapped right to it. And I didn't really go off of the lion and all that type of stuff right there. We were just going off the letter itself. But most of them, if you go one for one with the uppercase or the lowercase, it should check out exactly right. For example, when you put the G up there, the G was at the top. That lowercase G, hit it again.
Yeah. Oh, the lowercase.
Okay. Yeah,
See,
see it right there. That's it right there. That's your
yeah.
G right there.
But it's not gonna come. It's not gonna be able to.
Yeah. Yeah, I know when he hit it. That's what some of them you can't go into because they didn't switch all the way over like that. But it's just being able to see the actual letter. Because we don't really need to have what they calling it, so to speak. We just needed the letter. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? So it
And then,
showed the letter up there, and when it did that, I would just put the letter in rather than, yeah, some of them, I guess he wasn't complete on, but yeah, it ain't no big deal. Outside of it, not clicking on it. But it wasn't but like one or two like that in
and
my
then
record.
the sound shifting. That's the part that I was saying. How we got the hey and the het. When you
Mhm.
go into the hey and the het, it won't give me the separation between this hey and this het from when I try typing the H on the Demotic, or maybe I'm
Go
just
ahead and
doing it,
hit the H in there.
huh?
Go ahead and hit the H in there.
Yeah. So I tried to do a lowercase h.
Yeah. Okay. That's your one of your H's right there. That's the
Yeah,
house. Now go to the uppercase H. See right there. Hold up. Go back before you go in there. Go
that's
back.
crazy.
My bad. Go back to the lowercase H. That's my bad.
Okay.
Because some of them do have two signs, and one I just want to make sure this one. So that's your main H. Now go to your uppercase H.
What?
Yeah, I just want to make sure. There you go. See it right there. There you go. Your other H right there. See on that
Yeah.
second line.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
this is
See.
for some reason now this
Yeah.
thing, and it could have been because I had split screens why it wouldn't
Yeah.
pull up, it wouldn't bounce back and forth. But I was
Yeah.
doing this off a split screen, and when I typed in this H, this is what I got, and I didn't, and I was I didn't, I don't know, it just wasn't working out like I thought it
Yeah.
was going to work out for the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hit it. Click on it and see if it lets you go in there. The second one. The second line.
Oh, the second line.
Yeah. Because that's your H. The other one on the other line. See, there it go right there.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
That
that's what.
might be.
Sometimes it be moving slow too, so you got to watch that because I have to wait for certain things, and it's a bar right at the top of that screen, a little small line that it have to load up. So sometimes it be moving a little sluggish, and I think it's the machine itself, because it got so much information in there, it causes it to move sluggish. It'll bog you down a little bit. So
Yeah. So that
I
might
just
have been.
want. Yeah, but most of them you gonna see a match up. Some of them you gonna be able to click on. Some you ain't, but it ain't really a whole lot that's like that. You know what I mean?
Okay. Islam.
And I put them on their uppercase and lowercase, and you will have to scroll through there on some of them now
And
and
okay,
look
so
for.
this is. I don't mean to cut you off. My mind's just. I'm like.
Oh
Really,
no, you're all right. You're all right. I just want to aid and assist you, good bro. You good?
now this is the one that I was talking about. I couldn't remember which letter it was, but it was a Z. So I put in Z, and the H pops up.
Yeah, and certain areas that'll do that.
And I was looking for the phonetical, the word shifting. I looked in, the universal writing modes for the word shifting, and I couldn't find the well, not in the word shifting. I couldn't, but when I typed in what the Z sound shifted into, it didn't, from what I recall, it wouldn't match up. The
It
Z
match up
sounds
with the S.
S, and why did
Mhm.
I do the when
But if
the
you
Z?
you go down there, the ones I highlighted and put in there,
And
you'll see. Hit the Z real quick.
okay, the crazy thing now, so it did do this.
Right now, hit the uppercase Z.
The uppercase Z, I get the
Okay.
H,
Yep. Now scroll down.
and now I know what I did when I looked at the
Mm,
sound shifting. It said TS, so and
right.
I was
Right.
thinking of the T, so I was entering the T instead of the S.
Right. The ch sound.
Yes, that's where my what I'm saying, my brain wasn't wasn't
Hmm.
going into that
Right.
sound
Right.
shift.
Yeah. You scroll up through there, you'll see where it sound shift. That's that k sound. But it connect to that right there. Yeah, that was one I had to actually come up and dig into. So that's basically where it ended up taking you. But we know exactly what the shift is in it. So
Okay,
you just got to look at the sign that's beside it, because I matched the hieragram to it. So
yeah,
when you go back to the Z, you'll see which one it's linking up to.
and this is where
Go
like
back to that other chart. Yeah, the one that I created,
yeah,
with the alphabets in it, the Demotic
oh
alphabets.
right here,
Yeah, and scroll down a little bit. That's the chart too. We were trying to get you to put the Demotic in, but that's all right. Go ahead and
okay,
scroll it down and go back. See this sign right here, that little sign right there.
this one,
That's the one you were talking about, right?
yeah, the Z, yeah, Z, but see
Yeah,
this says
and
T, but then
that's right. And because the T, remember, is like D, and that's T T T. But that's actually the sign that corresponds. We hit the letter T real quick.
on the DB,
Yeah, go back to where you was.
okay, the T,
Lowercase. Yep. Now you
and so
see it
yeah,
at the top
right
right
here,
there.
yeah,
Yep. And that's the sign that correspond with that Z. When I did my due diligence,
mm-hmm.
Z Z C Z Z T T Z Z. That's it.
Yeah, yeah,
Remember, that's the symbol too that they use with the pyramid, handing the hand out, which mean to give.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And that's
and
what
it's T T T Z Z Z. You can hear it. So that's what corresponded with that particular sign when I was doing the mapping. But it's all good. Go ahead, brother.
okay. No, I was thinking that this when you said the handout and it goes up to this aleph. You see the
Yeah,
handout
but
right
that's a different hand. That's a different hand expression there. One of them got a pyramid in it, and
there?
the
Okay.
one that just showed you the Z, that's the pyramid in the hand. But this one is another one. That one would be considered more of a determinative expression, even though it's expressing, that particular letter there
Uh-huh.
in iradogram. But that is basically the sign that correspond with the letter A at the top right there.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is and that's just where I ran into the confusion that was with the sound shifting of those ones and looking it up and seeing what it the sound shift into, and I would try to enter it in, and I wasn't getting the even when I would try to copy this and I would hit enter it and I'd go into here, I'd
Mm-hmm.
go in here, it'd give me the one like you said with the pyramid on top. It wouldn't give me this one. So I was just entering it in. That's why I had the
Oh,
hereditary.
yeah, that's hard. When I had to dig to find that one. Like I
Yeah.
had to go deep within my sound shifting information in order to even pull that up.
And that's why you see these hereditograms. But when you actually look at the translation, the actual demotic, it didn't give me. So that's why you see the hereditograms over here instead of it being put into the
Okay.
into the demotic.
Okay. Gotcha.
And that's why so that's why I wasn't really trying to go first. Wasn't really trying to go first because of this. You know what I'm saying? This was what I was dealing with. You know.
Oh no, you're all right. You still doing good. You know, we just were trying to aid and assist you with the navigation process.
Yeah. And
You
then
know, and
like
that. Go ahead, brother.
and then just like and I didn't, even with the M, again, I'm getting the M, like it says MX, and I was bouncing back and forth between the charts, and so I
Mm.
might have, it might have just been me not being able to, what I'm saying, bounce back between the Demotic, the your chart, and then the actual DB and my paper. It could have been, I don't know. I wasn't pulling up the actual pictures like these. I wasn't able to get these on here.
Uh,
You know what I'm saying? Because I would copy like this, just like this, and I would go
mm,
to my chart, enter, and I put it over, do it just like this,
mm,
and this is what I get. I get the little man with the
right.
uh with the stick. So that's how I was going about doing it, but it wasn't giving me. And I was looking for the actual Demotic. I don't know how you how you did it, but you know what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to look for, and I tried to go off of your chart to see if I could pull the Demotic off it, and it wouldn't let me. So I just at that point was just going under the heratograms, putting everything underneath the heratograms, and then just I was just going to transition it backwards to the Demotic. So, but
Yeah, most definitely.
and then
Yeah. Nah, I was just finna say them. You could have actually went to the whatchamacallit too if you needed to, the Akutu, where it take you, it show the attestations on there, like how old some of the letters is,
Mm.
with the pharaoh name on there, or the Mesu, the Ra Mesu. You could go to that area and grab the letters from there. That's what I did. Or you
mhm.
could actually copy and paste. That would take a little time, but that was a good way to do it. And actually, all you really had to do is just map the letters to that other chart, the facial recognition chart we already had,
Uh-huh.
and all would have been well. You didn't even have to put the pictograms in there, just the letter itself, them letters right there,
Yeah.
erratic letter, and when you look at all those ones up there, those are the different expressions of what they using. So I exhausted that to make sure we had the right measure, but the main letter is in the front. The first one behind that T, that little lowercase T right there, that's chit.
Yeah.
Chet. That's the chet sound.
Okay.
And so basically, like, you could have used it and, like I say, cropped out or took them off of there and then put them over there to the other side.
Yeah.
To
Okay.
that other go back to the facial recognition chart that I had.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it should be right there. Right there when you blow it up to the left side to see of the transliterations.
Yeah. The shits. Yeah.
Yeah, you could actually put it over there. Right there where actually was, you had the actual alphabets, and then you rearrange them in an abjad order.
Yeah. And that's why
That
that's why I was trying to put it on in that
in the one you
paper.
created.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, I see.
it wouldn't let me do it on. That's why I was going to try to put it on here, but I remember that when I try to cut and paste and add something to there, I might not know how to do it.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying, to put the actual next to it, because I tried to use that. That's why I had that head at the top of the thing, because I was going to do it on there, but it would, even then, when I tried to mesh it to the paper, so it just be as one with the paper, it wouldn't let
Mm.
me do it to put those the alphabets in this sequence like I was trying to do. So I
Gotcha.
was, yeah. I don't know if I was doing too much or just not doing enough. I don't know.
No, you're all right. You're all right. A little trial and error. It can be
Islam.
it can be challenging.
And the word that I only had one word, and it was I got it written down on my paper. I don't even have it on the thing. I have MTYT, which is mitwit, which is rectitude, which means
Mhm.
morally correct behavior or thinking righteousness. That's the word I had, and I didn't get around to pull because I had just had a phone call with somebody. But yeah, Islam. That's
It's
my
not. Yeah,
demonstration.
gratitude and like that's a grand draw. And still, though, just for you attempting to put things together, and you was matching in a lot of accuracy. And so we definitely give honors to you, grand man. For the chart, like we say, at the end of the day, a lot of this, we were saying it before you came in, a lot of this basically gives one the aspect of being able to become familiarized, and it's grand that we actually have, in these charts, we got all the information that we need, to really give our people a whole lot. So yeah, it's gonna take a little trial and error and us working together like we doing, and
But
the
them tools we
profession.
got, they
Yes, sir.
heavy. They heavy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. It couldn't have been better, especially for the Demotic, because you can actually go to the actual paper where they'll give you the transliteration. You remember them sheets that we had coming from the Chicago Institute?
Yes.
Yeah, I got it printed all out. All of it next to me up there, where we was actually rewriting the transliterations and filling them in.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually click on certain links, and they'll take you right to those papers with the definitions in there as well.
Okay.
Oh
I
yeah.
still think I got that PDF, that whole PDF on there somewhere.
Oh.
There's no.
It's praise be to Allah. Well, all right. Islam want to give honors to our National Grand Sheik for checking in as well. Okay. Well, all right. Islamism.
Islam, that danger in the occurred bay. Well, gratitude, God man. Enjoyed your presentation. So I'm gonna show y'all what I did. Let me present here. Okay, share the screen. Screen. And hit share. Okay. All right. Can you at least see anything, family? Because I know I need to blow it up.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Okay, I'm gonna blow it up a little bit because for some reason mine will come out small. Make it big so y'all can see this. And this is what I did. Okay, the assignment said create your own comprehensive abjab heretic demotic facial recognition chart using the abjab demotic PDF attached herein. Apply your knowledge of sound shift linguistics to map the demotic to the heretogram already present in the facial recognition chart herein. And then you, number two, we was to use the Egyptian dictionary attached to your past assignments to pinpoint sound shifts linguistic in the amount of words of your choice. And from my understanding, what I thought we was to do was to put that heretic chart in the abjab order. And what I did, and I don't know if I did it right, but what I did, I went by your chart, Dr. Shahid, that you had, and I put this right here is the heretic chart, but this is not in abjab order. And so, as you can see, I put the demotic out here right beside them. This is the abjab order that it would have been. I didn't know how to. I'm still unfolding in this, working with this computer, learning how to do stuff also. And so, but this is what I did. This is the abjab order in the demotic, because this heretic chart is not in the abjab order. And as you can see, I just put the demotic out on the side to line up with the alphabets in the heretic chart. And then the next thing that I did when you was talking about do the sound shifting, I didn't do many. I looked up. I got my information from the Egyptian dictionary, the Robinson's dictionary, and I also went to Poe. And I looked up the H. You talking about the sound shifting and the H, and the H takes on that hue sound, and then this is coming from the I think this was from the Egyptian dictionary, using that H, emphatic H. And then it said it was the dotted H, meaning the H with the dot on it. And then when I went to Robinson's dictionary, this is what it showed me here. And it said it meant hoary. And that's what I did for that particular sound shifting H. And then on this one, I did the T. I looked at the T. I used the Poe Egyptian dictionary and the Robinson's dictionary. I didn't get a chance to go. I will continue to work with this because I'm enjoying it. Still learning my way around that new tool that you gave us, Dr. Shahid. And like the God man say, that is a awesome tool because everything is right there. So I'm still unfolding in that because there's so much you can do with that particular tool. I just got to work with that one because I was trying to get through my assignment. And like I say, for the sound shifting, I picked out the T. And I had a question about this T because I think this one coming from Poe, I believe it was. I put a question mark by it. And but this is what came up when I typed in the T for the sound shifting. These are the symbols it gave me. And the tie, and it said it mean T. But up here, when I did it, it says that this is the symbol over here. And it's the T with the little thing up under it. And it means tethering rope. And it's like, this is coming from the Egyptian dictionary. And it says it's like the ch in the English, like in chores. And then also I looked in Robinson. It gave about basically the same thing for the sound shifting. The CH, it says as in chores. So those were the three. Those were the two words that I did. Like I say, I was looking at some more, but I didn't get a chance to copy them over to my assignment. But I looked at some more, and I didn't put a snapshot of that chart up there. But when you trying to say the T on that chart, on that little head chart that you gave us, Dr. Shahid, that T, when you look at that chart, it's going to the nasal part of his head and the roof of his mouth. So, like I say, I didn't do a snapshot, and I don't want to pull that head up because I might close the whole thing out. So, but anyway, if y'all can remember Dr. Batave's head that was up there, when you pronouncing that T, it's coming from, and you'll see it. And I know some of my other Moorish kin have it on there, and you can see it on the chart where that T is coming from, like the roof of his mouth and the nasal part and the roof of his mouth, and then the H on that chart, you can see the arrows pointing down to it's coming from down in his throat. It's coming from down in the throat. So gratitude, God, man, that's what I did. I don't know if I did everything, but that was my understanding. So that's my presentation. Islam,
don't close it yet. Go back to that first chart where you had the facial chart up there. Right there.
Okay.
Yeah, and you had the right idea, but the only measure here is we was trying to line them up with each letter.
Mm-hmm.
And you could have, like, it's a way you can copy and paste crop item. crop them out rather, and like put them in a order. Like you see the A and the B, you would crop that out and put that together, and then put the G right up under that. You see the J, you would take that, crop that, and put it up under the B. And once you put them all together, then you take them alphabets and you put them on the side, because that's, like you say, not in abjad order.
Right.
You know what I mean? So once you put your the little hieratic and the Arabic in abjad order, line up your demotic with it.
Okay.
So now that you got it like that right there, you can go in there and look at the G that you got. I like the A, and take the A. It's already there. It's good. You can actually have this other A right here as well up on it, off to the side, because it's like an extra expression. So you can really put both of them together.
Okay.
So you can probably put all three of them together.
Okay.
The AA, it wouldn't hurt to do that since they got it like that. But as you go through there, you got the other B up under that right there. Then you consider you get the G here, take it up, crop it, and put it right next to the letter you got there. So the way you got it mapped out, you can just really crop them out and arrange them. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, I think so.
Come out the different letters right there in the hieratic chart. You can take it and put it on the side, just like it's already on the side here, but it's not in abjad order. You can take the abjad and match it to it.
Oh, okay.
So you got all the symbols, as well. That's show you right there on the side.
Okay.
It's just really matching them letter for letter, and utilizing your sound shift knowledge to know where you're putting things at. Because I actually put it over here. If you look at the letters, I put all the sound shifting information there. So, for example, that K, that G, and the H, and the G, and the K, that would actually go right there next to the one that you see right there in the middle. When you go all the way over, and you actually matched it, but not by, you didn't do it on purpose. I think you did it just by putting it together.
Right.
So went over there to the left, it would actually be over there to the right.
Okay.
And that KH and that GH, it will be on the other side of that chart, right over there. You see the CH and the KH and the X? Yeah, that's right there. Instead of the Y being over there.
Oh, okay.
So that will be mapped to that side instead of, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
But I see what you was doing. Just like the letter K as well. You got a K over there, but then that K would be over to the left side.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
See the one that's on the right side, it would have been where you got the actual K at. That should have been on the right side.
Oh, okay. Okay.
See what I'm saying? So you just really, like I said, you already got it where you can just go in there and crop it out and map all of them together and create your abjad out of this hieratic chart.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's matching up to the demotic.
Okay.
But you got it. You got it. Like the prophet say, you got a good start to the kingdom. There it go.
It's love. I'm working hard.
You did good though, Sister Curta Bay.
Gratitude.
You still did good because you had the concept there. Yeah. It's just, I know, trying to get in there and mess with that chart.
Yeah.
It can be challenging, but all you got to do is go back through there. Like with our brother Bati Bay, we can always go back through there and do it. And then this is so that you have your own chart, right there with you.
Right.
Because I can create them, which I will, I always do.
Right.
But you have your own, then you can always reference back to that.
Right.
And like I said, it also helps by you doing that matching. It helps ingrain the letters and the symbols in your mind.
Right.
By default.
That's right.
So
Islam.
That's why the exercise was put there. Islam.
Gratitude, family. Well, that's what I have. And I'm gonna get out of here and let somebody else come.
Islam. Praise
Islam. Share my screen. Islam. Gratitude.
Islamism. Thank you, Scribes.
Islam. Dr. Hasetsu, do you want to go? May I go? Because I'm be leaving at two.
No,
thirds?
all is well, more. All is well.
Okay, sure. Because
I
Yeah.
am positive.
okay, gratitude.
No.
Oh, okay. Master teacher, is it okay to go now?
Oh yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Grandman.
Okay, gratitude. Um, okay, let's see if I can get something. At least I can get something to share. Okay, share screen. Entire screen. Trying to see how come nothing is coming up. So you can't see anything right now, right?
Okay, not yet. Let me get. I'm trying to see the. Nope, I don't see nothing up there yet.
Hmm. Okay, I'm.
Take your time.
Yep.
You know you got to highlight that little box. You know what I'm talking
Okay.
about when you
Okay.
click
Yeah.
on it.
Yep. I got you.
There you go. I see you now. Let me put you in the queue. Yes, sir. We see you, Grandman.
Okay. So I don't see what I'm sharing. Okay. Do you see anything now?
Oh yeah. Yes, sir.
You see that phonetic value of highlighted letters and all of that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Let me go back. No, that wasn't the homework there. It's right here. Okay. Islamism, Muslims, assignments. Our homework will consist of creating your own comprehensive ABGD hieratic / demotic facial recognition chart using the the Abjad Demotic PDF. Attached herein, apply your knowledge of sound shift linguistics to map the demotic to the hierogams already present in the facial recognition chart. Okay, I started to go like this here, coming from the coup, but I decided to just bring it up on my Word. Okay, where we at? Okay, so basically what I did, I just brought up that PDF that you sent us, and I just copied and paste. Well, I had to. You have to download another copy of the see where I get it from from one of the hieratic um, charts. Okay, so I went to the hieratic charts and just web captured like the A, you know what I mean, corresponding with the demotic A, debate corresponding with the demotic bait, and the G. I mean, you can see it's pretty straightforward, but like at the end, I kind of like, some of the letters didn't come across as straight as I thought, and so like, yeah, you might have to aid and assist as to did I put the correct one on the correct letter. Most of them, the majority of them, I'm pretty confident in it. And so the last part was the words. And what I did, I just went to the
Pardon self, Brother Marvin Edward Bay, while you there.
Yes, sir.
Because I know it'll be better if I address the measure while you there. You
Okay.
see how you got that in the order, like you got them in Abjad order.
Yes, sir.
Them ones which you cropped out of that chart.
Yes, sir.
That's all you got to do with that one right there is just put them together. You know, like stack them together. You know what I mean?
Oh, this is one of them neat.
Yeah, no, it ain't being neat, but you did a good job. I'm saying, but when you stack them,
I understand what you're saying.
you see
yes,
what I'm saying? That way it'll be in a chart form in front of you.
Right. Exactly.
That's okay though. Nothing wrong with that. You know.
But no, I follow you. And yes, sir. I just didn't have like a lot of time. That's why I
Gotcha.
basically got it like that. But yeah,
I got
going forward, I will, when I get back to the office, so to speak, I'll
Mhm.
basically put those things in more uniform manner. But
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to think now. One of these is so far over, it's hard to even. Oh yeah, like this one here, like the P and F.
Uh-huh.
No, actually, no, it was the D, and that.
Yeah.
How you say that T? How do you pronounce that T?
Yeah, that's the ch. But
Okay.
that actually shifts between that there. That's why I have all of them together.
Right.
When
Right.
you dig deep into the sound shift, it's a connection to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Right.
that's why I put all of them together, because in most of your dictionaries, you're gonna find one of them shifts in there. You know.
And I liked it that. I mean,
Mhm.
you did a whole lot of work on this.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
boy, when I tell
do
you it
that.
took a minute for me to on some of them letters, to get them in there, but I was
Right.
able to find them. Oh yeah.
Right. Okay. And so yeah, that's what I was looking at. And I'm looking at this here. See,
You're on point though with the chart though, the way you
yes,
put
sir.
everything together.
Okay. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Actually, it was this one here. I couldn't put over here. So I could probably even eliminate. Well,
Yeah, you didn't even have to put all. I'm gonna tell you something too. I did that
mm-hmm.
just to exhaust it, but a lot of them is determinative
All right.
expression.
Okay.
You didn't really have to put nothing up there, but you see what that little pyramid is at in the middle right there?
Right here.
Yeah, everything in front of that would have been all right.
Just right here.
Yeah, just them. Yeah,
Okay.
that little section there. I
Okay.
did that other stuff because I seen certain letters. If you go back to the chart where it was showing them attestations
Oh,
in
the
the
chart.
actual, yeah, and so that's what made me put them in there like that. Just so that if you ever be seeing certain things in a papyri,
Right.
you'll know that right there is coming from that same area.
Yes, sir.
It's actually a little more thorough than the average chart that we have, because
Yeah.
I'm showing the different signs they have in there. Because we
Mhm.
might think they other letters, but really it's the same. Like that W, for example. You see all the different expressions of the W. Now
Right.
we could have used the first one, but then if you don't know that them other marks that's coming behind, like the little chick, and so forth and so on, or like the little lasso looking thing. If you
Right.
don't really know them, you won't know that they W. So I just
Right.
wanted to make sure I put all of them there.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That way you can't go wrong. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right. Yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
when you're looking in that paper, you'll say, "Oh, I see."
Right.
You
And
know.
after we, you know, work with it more and more, we can recognize it, and yeah, yeah, we can be able to transliterate. Because
That's
that's the
right.
whole problem in the beginning. The Europeans were looking at just like like all those different H's and whatever. They were the ancient Egyptians. They could recognize the difference in them. You know what I mean? Just from looking at them. But when the European looked at them, they looked all the same. You know what I mean? They ain't want to work that hard. You know?
That's right. That's
Mhm.
exactly what they did. So they assign pictures to it and then say, "This is this letter. That is that letter. This is that." And
Right.
then they discarded the paper. That's where they messed up at. You know
Yes,
what I
sir.
mean? Like just throw it away like a peanut shell.
Well, they were trying to hide everything, so they
Yep.
didn't want nobody to trace back to the original owners.
It makes sense too, because when you look up the cryptoglyphs
Hmm.
that they created, the Ptolemies, that was their main reason of doing what they did. If you look it up, it said they created that to try to keep people from learning the
Right.
thing. So it makes sense when
Mm.
we look at the way the scholars in this present time, they use the pictograms to confuse and convolute it. So you'll
Right.
be looking at the pictures. Like the brother Mustafa Gadala said, they buried it. So
Hmm.
that's something else. They did that on purpose, like
That's
you said.
right.
Yep. And that
And
way nobody will be looking at the paper, they'll be looking at pictures.
right. And in that Mustafa Gadala book, which one? Either the Universal Writing Modes
Mm-hmm.
or the other one. It tells like, like the Gypsy man, like our people were so far. We were the original people on the planet, so go figure. You know what I mean? But but each letter like that A, that's one. That's Allah. That's the great God. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's coming how in the creation cycles. You know what I mean? A was first. It's
That's right.
value of one. You know what I mean? So everything else came off of that. But Mustafa Gadala really breaks it in, and that's just I need for more research in that area because they had mystical um, values, so to speak. Each one of these letters. I mean, it's just so beautiful when
Yep.
you really get into it. And
That's
so,
right. Go
yes,
ahead.
sir. And so this is my sound system. I know I didn't put enough time in it, but I was looking. I just looked at this here. See how the NXN, it's the same as the NKH. You know, the X and the KH sound shift. I mean, that was my interpretation.
Yep, that's it. That's right.
Okay, and this here, um, is the the KA. Wait a minute, is it the KA? No, the U. I'm gonna just use the U. See how the Nahabu Kau, Nahab, Nahab Kau. You know what I mean? And so this is how it is transliterated in, I guess. But this is how it's translated into the English part. The U and the W is interchangeable. Same with this NXB and L Cobb. I guess in Cobb, you know, I mean that's how I'm looking. I could be incorrect, but that just minimal I can come up with at the time I had available. Not making excuses that I don't like even like to hear excuses, but this is a form that is aiding me and my patients, you know, and others' patients with me as well. And so that's what I have.
Oh, Islam, all is well, brother. You know, you definitely got the gist of the measure, so to speak. And if you look at the chart that you have on the top of that, the hieratic, you know,
Uh-huh.
you could have actually matched that to some of the words that we had.
Right.
You would have seen the connection between a lot of it too, like the
Okay.
sound shift. Like I say, but I pretty much put the main expressions in the Demotic chart that I created.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you know you definitely had the assignment on point. The only thing you didn't do is put everything together in a one box.
Right. Right.
That you still did the abjad of the letters and put the hieroglyphs next to the Demotic, so you
Yeah.
can see the correspondence on the one to one. So
Right.
that's why I say like us going into the second Inshet, we still dealing with the meta ray and comet. You
Right.
know, so it's like we dealing with both of them to a certain degree, but even though we really on one, you know.
Yes, sir. Right.
So yeah, that's a grand draw. And yeah, you definitely got the idea of the assignment though.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, gratitude. All right.
Yeah. Islam, gratitude. All right. All righty then. We got our Grand National Secretary of the State. Sister Swapsuit, Rakat, Baat, and Pooh. Come on in, Scribes.
Islam, gratitude. Let
Gratitude.
me present my screen. First of all, I want to rise, giving all praises to our Father God Allah, giving honor to our Prophet, Noble Dura Ali, the last prophet in these days and times, giving honor to our E.A.R.S class, to our scribes online, grand measures to um, opening our meeting according to law, our Consul General of Texas, to Dr. Dendra, National Grand Secretary of South Carolina for our chapter, and also to our host, our National Assistant Grand Sheikh, Dr. Shedu Amenti El Mohed Shepsuel, giving honor to Act One, giving honor to our National Grand Sheikh, Dr. Serapis Amin Ra'el, and also to our National Grand Chairman, Dr. Akhenaten Pertem Haru Tutankhamen Bey. Can everybody see my screen?
Oh, Islam. Yeah, we see it, Grand Secretary of State.
All right, gratitude. When I looked at our assignment, and as our Moorish Ken read, creating your own comprehensive abjab, hieratic / demotic facial recognition chart using the abjab demotic PDF attached herein, apply your knowledge of sound shift linguistics to map the demotic to the hieratograms already present in the facial recognition chart herein. Use the Egyptian dictionaries attached to your past assignments to pinpoint sound shift linguistics in the amount of words of your choice. Now, I started out with a PowerPoint, but because I wanted to allow space for the special chart, I switched over to Word as well. Now, this is the chart that I came up with in reference to the hieratic and demotic alphabet with sound shifting. The demotic, which I use as the foundation since it was in the abjab order, is over to the left. And then the hieratic, like the A's. You see these two characters. We're not looking at the glyphs per se. For A in the demotic language, and then with the hieratic. This, and I also put, because these were similar, I put the ein over there as well, because, you know, there were few more characters on the hieratic side than it was demotic. So as I was going through the chart, it became a little bit clearer when I was actually able to put these things side by side. And of course, the B abjab, the ABGD, and following suit with the hieratic. Now, and you know, here's the sound shifting that has it in red. Now, this middle column, we did have with the hieratic. I had some overflow because you see the S, Z, TH, and DH. So I just lumped it all together. The S, the Z. Here's the S again. The TH and the DH. But I just labeled that hieratic so it wouldn't be any confusion. Same with the D, as my Moorish Ken was stating. The D was a little bit lengthy, so I made sure that this was attached with the demotic area. And then moving forward from this column to the right is the hieratic. Now, before I got into, of course, you know, some more sound shifting, where you see the X, the K, H, the GH, as our Moorish Ken have mentioned, the G and the K. You also see the X and the K, the TCH, the G and the J, the T and the Z. Now, before I got to the second number 2, as far as pulling words out, I had to, because I had all of my tabs open, you know, when we first got all of these dictionaries. But at some point, and I mean for months, because it was so extensive as far as our, you know, the Vigas, the Dixon, the ancient Egyptian dictionary and things of that nature. So I had to, you know, go back and pull, even though I had it in a folder. And that took a minute for me to pull in order for me to get the resources to do number 2. So I started with Dixon Dictionary, page 33, dealing with the DH. Okay. And you see, and just pulling a segment of the words, you see a DHR, which is leather hide, the bitterness, that repeats itself. Then when it adds a T to it, to hurt, you see now sickness and bitterness and sickness. So I said, okay. And I found another section of the DH where it has the N to it. Now this is a point, to bow. The ta, touch the earth with the forehead in obeisance. I said, okay. In reference to giving praise and honor, you know, so to the creator. Forehead, and then mountaintop. All right. So I, you know, kept that in mind because the sound shifting with the DH and the TH. I went to Dixon. Now this TH came up with the meaning of fiance. Of course, I'm not going to look at a word and not, what is the meaning of that? Now, when I looked up fiance, that's general English language term for fine tin glazed pottery. All right. And it also had down here the Moors. brought the technique of 10 glazed earthenware to Al-Andalus, where the art of lusterware with metallic glazes. So this was tying up. Even though you had the sound shifting, you see it's still going back history-wise to us as a people. Now, of course, I'm like, praise the Lord, you
I
know.
wish I had a bomb. Boom. We're going to do it with my boom. Boom shot.
I'm like, whoa. Now, mind you, this is in the wee hours, okay? So I can't do no screaming and all this kind of stuff. But it was just, you could see layers being uncovered, okay? Then I went to Vigus. All right, I'm still sticking with this DH and DHR and DHRT. Now with Vigus, it still came up similar with the DHR bitter, 2 and bitter. Again, this sickness, bitter and harsh. And of course, it had the Unicodes and stuff like that. But I was more so concerned with the sound shifting and the definition. Then it gets to saddening and depressing, bitterness of emotions and sickness, because I'm thinking about passions now, passions and desires, you know, and how that brings a sickness when you're dealing with your special lower self. So when I look to the DHNT, mountaintop, peak, and summit, which agreed with the previous Dixon. Looking further, because it had some more, hilltop, mountaintop, okay, cliff, peak. I'm looking at the upper room, keeping it above the neck. Now, when I looked at Vigus, instead of looking at Vigus dealing with the sound shift in letters, I said, let me see what the definition of sickness will pull out in Vigus. Now it took me to the SN. And if you notice on the chart, you have the S is also in that same line of sound shifting. Okay. So now you see where this is DHNT. Now this one is SNT. Sintu, strife and quarrel. Okay. Senti, quarrelsome man. Foe, that's another noun added to it. Senti, enmity, that's hatred and hostility. And then you have surrounding and circle. So just from the sound shifting, you see it's still got a thread because you're going from a mountaintop, but it's also taking you to beneath the neck as well. Sne, to pity, to sympathize, to suffer, to feel pain. Now we still have this sickness up here. Okay. Curse, to cover, control, defeat, still dealing with encircle. And then it had be round and be oval. When I went to the peak, I'm looking up the actual definition of these sound shifted words that I previously went over. SK came up. So now I'm looking at SK to try to see the similarities. Ska, which this is a high ground. That's dealing with peak, mountaintop, which was what the previous sound shifting was. So I'm still saying, my gracious. And here we see other words. Now it goes from peak or mountaintop to exalting, to make high, you know, a building. I thought about building the temple of perfected man. So you could, I could just see the prophet's lessons coming through, Moors, you know. And when I said, okay, what's the SNT? E.A.R.S sent. Magistrate. Now, of course, you know, police chief, they threw it, but I'm looking at magistrate. That's the subject the subject chapter we're in this week. Okay, still looking at SNT under Vigus. This form of it, tar, besent, engraver, metalworker. Now that took me back to the word that I had to look up in reference to coming from the Moors, dealing with the pottery or working the metal. So I'm looking at the circle all wrapped around that one line dealing with the sound shifting. This one dealing with incense collector, incense bearer. But I'm looking at SNT again, foundation of an enclosure wall. We're still dealing with building or constructing, you know, likeness. We also have down here document, tabular document, ground plan. Now, looking at the sickness to see what it would pull up in the ancient Egyptian dictionary, because now I'm like, I gotta see, since I had pulled all these dictionaries up, let me see what it looks like. It's got sickness here, but it has for Sini, curse, utter sedition, to exorcise, and in essence, get the demon out of you or conjure up something. Bitterness, and this we see the SNI with the DHRT, the same definition. Okay. Now, when I went to the Egyptian dictionary dealing with the KH, Khan and Kham, this one brought up veil and to see. So in one aspect, you're dealing with to cover something, all right? And the opposite of that being to see. And Dixon, the veil, when I used the definition of veil, it brought up the TAM. So we're still on that sound shifting line, okay? It also to see, which is the opposite, dealing with this, it brought up DGI to hide. Then it had for C, DGI as well. So you can see the contrast, but it's still using the same 3 letters here. In Vigus, veil pulled up effent. And we know that the P is close to this. If you looked at the chart previously, the P is close to the KH, GH, G, and K sound shift as well. So that wasn't strange for that. Now this one, ephenu, blindness, because that's also, you can see in accord with the veil, covered, and blindfold and covered. Looking at Vigus, it had tam, which we had seen that in the previous dictionaries in reference to veil the face, cover over. You see the H again, heard, hurt, oracle. You see the veil again. So you can see we're shifting the letters, but it's still coming up with the same meaning. Now, when I went to the dictionary of the Holy Quran, because I started with the GH, what can I find in this? Page 410, it's coming up with to make a sign with the eye or eyebrow. They wink at each other. I'm like, and the other one, gamma, to cover, veil, grieve. So I could see now, we were taught in class that this is a strong root because of the fact that you see it in the Arabic, dealing with the same meaning. And then I went to, of course, Strong's Concordance dealing with the Hebrew. Let's see what veil does with that. A curtain. Dock. D-O-Q. A veil, a curtain. Which you see this Q as well. And this TSA again. Sama. Veil. You see this TSA again, to saif, a wrapper, shawl, or veil. Now this is coming out of the Hebrew language. And you can see to saif. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but so that's my measure on what I pulled up and going to the various dictionaries, even though, it was like the whole line was continued in various words and offshoots. Islam.
Oh, you just went to having fun.
Yes.
You was gonna go on, and goodness gracious, Grand National Secretary of State, that's a powerful measure because you on point. And now with that drawing that you brought forth, I like the way you put your abjad chart together. Very powerful, indeed. And also like the different sound shifting, you demonstrated that grand. Then you went all the way over. Let me get some Arabic and some Hebrew. Let me get into these strong words. That's like a bonus measure right there. And as you can see, when you go through the different letters, they actually are shifting exactly like they should. So, Grand Secretary of State, if you notice, I know that you was picking up as you was going through there. When you deal with the sound shift root, you can see the letters that follow behind it, like they had a strain of meaning. So basically,
Yes.
when you become familiar with, the next letters that follow behind that sound shift, you pretty much can tell what the word is saying. So
Islam.
let's say if you were looking at it in straight demotic or hieratic, and you seen, the D and the H, so to speak. If you're already familiar with it, if you see another letter follow it like INT, and that mean a particular thing, then you automatically can go into what that letter is. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Islam.
That's powerful. And I see you was picking up on that, noticing it. Like the first two letters demonstrate, but then, and that's why you hear me say this all the time. When they get up there and they be talking about putting certain stuff up there, what we seen they made mistakes at when we was going through the papyri prison. When they changed one letter, it changed the whole meaning of the word. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And that's why I was saying we got to go through there and vet this stuff, because we seen a lot of errors where they put certain things that wasn't supposed to be there. And so that's a whole nother expression, and it ain't gonna say what they say it's saying. I'm gonna show you some too on my end. That's powerful. All y'all scribes did a good job. Y'all definitely added on to this special measure. And want to give honors to our brother Dasha Ab. Honors to you. Yeah, that's right. That's right. The glyphs ain't the cipher. And I'm finna go in here right now and show y'all some from my little PDF that I was getting ready for these ones. I don't think they really want to have a discussion. I'm gonna be honest with you on it. And I'm gonna show you something right here. Watch this. This is something else here, Morris Ken. And I'm gonna show y'all a few measures that our family. I talked to some of the scribes about this here actually. Okay, so y'all can see my screen, right, Grand Secretary of State?
Islam. Yes, sir.
Okay, now watch this. This is very important right here. Because you often hear, I talk to our family about this. See, a lot of people don't know. This thing is real bad what these people did. If you look here, you notice, and I want to blow it up real big, so make sure you see. If you notice, they chiseled out the bodies. Now, this is called the Pele Temple.
Your screen could be bigger, can it?
Huh?
Can your screen be bigger?
Oh, yeah, I know what I need to do. I got to go over there. My bad.
And that's Rob,
Let me go over here and take this off of there. Well, actually, it's showing. Oh, I got it. I got him in the way. Okay, my bad. You good now, brother Applebay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just want to make sure. So right here, if you see how they chiseled this out, this was done purposely, family, by the Ptolemies. They remixed this temple. See, the temple was already there, but they remixed it and then call it the Pele Temple, much like how Egyptologists now take papyri and name it after themselves. So Ptolemy did is, now look, there's something that's distinctive about what they did. They chisel it out. Anybody that know anything about plastering and mud and all that stuff there know that you can actually remud this right here, and smooth it out, right? And put different features in it. How we know this to be a fact? Because notice they didn't do nothing to the crown. You notice that? They chiseled everything except the crown. And so the reason they did that is because when they reshape and remold the mud that they would put in here, their methodology of, what they would fill this with and put it in their image, it would be the Ptolemy's image with the crown of the ancestors on their head. Goodness gracious. You see how we call them? This is an unfinished temple that they didn't finish. They didn't fully remix it. They was in the process of remixing it. Now, what y'all think about that right there, scribes, before I go to the next measure? We caught them red-handed. In the act.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a mess. That's a mess. It just reminded me of the Sphinx.
Yeah.
You know, try to wipe out any demonstration of an Asiatic.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, and superimpose their own
nasty.
image over it. Like, how Ptolemy gonna have an image where he offering ISIS anything?
Yes.
When Offset is supposed to be way back, you know, through Zero Dynasty, if you go through the Egyptian cosmology, what's Ptolemy doing back then?
Yes. My goodness. We got the praise out of folks.
There you go. You see it. They can't get no plainer than this. Now I'm gonna show you something. Y'all think that's something. I ain't get to this part. See, this side, you know, if you notice it, there it go. Notice they took the face out. They kept the body on here because they gonna put Ptolemy off in there some type of way. So they were chiseling away. And a lot of this is relics of a temple that was already there, built by our ancestors, but they went in and they remixed it. See what I'm saying? Oh, you think that's some? Wait till this here. I ain't got this as an active link yet, you know, because I'm trying to make an active link where I can click on them. So I'm gonna just copy and paste this and watch this, because this gonna go to the actual thing. And when I have, see, I want to make things mapped out. So when I'm talking about them, I just hit the link, you know, which I ain't made them active yet. Now I'm gonna go in there and finish it off because I put everything in order. I had to arrange this stuff. I wanted to put a chronological order on it. So I'm gonna come over here now. Watch this, because this finna show you what's going on up in there in that particular temple. And watch this, what I show y'all about this so-called metal netta. So this is all the stuff they went in. You know, they call it the Temple of Isis. So when they talk about the priesthood of Isis, it ain't talking about the ancient priesthood. It's talking about the Ptolemy priesthood. Just give me 1 second here. I want to get up here to these monuments and show you a few things on these walls. Now watch this. Give me 1 second. Not that one. Not that one. Okay, that's the same thing now. 1 second. All they did is rearrange stuff. They took whole obelisks and moved them from this location and took them to other locations, you know, in Rome territory. I just want to get over here to these symbols on the wall because there's something I'm trying to point out. You see this? This is Ptolemaic glyphs. If you notice up here,
Mo, the screen hasn't changed.
oh, it did.
No, sir.
I must have wasn't sharing my whole screen. Let me do it again then. Sorry about that, Mo. Okay, here we go right here. I'm gonna just hit entire screen this time. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now let's see, is it jumping around everywhere I move this screen?
Okay,
Yes.
we see something now.
Okay, now you see over here in this this particular wall here,
Islam.
Yes.
notice it has the same symbols up there, right?
Uh-huh.
Now it's obvious that, you know, they try to say this would be saying something, this is talking, right? But it's obvious that this is no different than a pattern. This is not saying anything, never been saying anything according to the ancestors. What it is that some of these symbols up here, when the ancestors put them up there, they just were for decoration. They had metaphysical meaning behind them, but they didn't have any alphabetical meaning behind them. You see what I'm saying? And so when we're looking at these particular symbols up here, we can tell that this is definitely a pattern of decoration. That's all it is. Even if we can get into metaphysics, we definitely ain't no word. Let's just say if this was supposed to be a word, you know, as far as dealing with alphabets, it wouldn't make no sense. Let's just say if this was an A and this was a B, what you gonna keep completing saying AB, you know, BA, AB, BA? What is that gonna translate into? Scribes, I want y'all, what y'all think about that?
You can definitely see the pattern.
That's
Our
a
people are
pattern.
artistic, and it would translate into gibberish.
Yep, it was translated into gibberish.
Exactly.
Plain and simple.
Until they were just playing.
Now you can't. Now we showing them a working model right here. You can't get around this here. So now I'm gonna show y'all. I think that's a watch this. This is really gonna take the cake right here when I show y'all this. Look at him. So if that's the case, now we know that is not a comedic demonstration. You know that was put in there recently, right?
Iron Cross.
Yeah,
Right.
that's probably when the Knights Templars was over there. They probably did that. You know what I mean? But I just wanted to show you. See, they cut all the way into the glyphs right there. That was on there. Now watch this. You think that's a? Now these are monuments of the ancestors. I want to make sure I got a clear one. Now they tell you when they normally line text up, you supposed to read in a particular direction, right? So if they looking at these as alphabets, normally when you look at the text that they have inside a book, they all be facing the same direction. But what happened when you got something facing this direction, then you come over here and facing that direction? Now, these are old. You can tell these come from the ancestors, these particular glyphs here. Problem is with it, they never read this stuff like the Ptolemies, you know, well, not the Ptolemy, but your guy that found the Ptolemy monuments, Champollion. There is no reading aspect because it's not consistent. You know, like in the books they create. When they create them, they move all of them looking in the same direction. You'll never see, you know, one looking this way and one looking that way. You see what I'm saying? These are columns. Even if they columns, they all look in the same direction in most of the books they have. Watch this. This is even greater though. Watch this. This is insane. I'm trying to find that one picture of clarity that got him up there. Okay. Put this one on. There we go. Now, oh yeah. How you gonna read this right here, people? They say you're supposed to read it the direction, the glyph. So if it's looking toward this way, the serpent is looking, you know, to what we would consider, you know, our left. So you will read it from that direction, right? According to them. You can only read hieratic one way. That's from right to left. So you will read from here, from left to right, like this way, because all the symbols facing this way, right? Now watch how we kill the theory. This little serpent looking that way too, right? But guess what happened over here? What in the world is going on? Now we got this, you know, the bee up here. We got the goose. We got these other symbols. They looking like this. See, this is how you know our ancient ancestors were just using this stuff as decoration. Because if all these are looking this way and this is looking the other way, how you gonna make sense out of that if it's supposed to be read one direction? All the glyphs supposed to be facing the same direction. Got them again. You see what I'm saying? Because the ancestors in their writings never intended for this to be read as no alphabet. You see what I'm saying? That's crazy. Now, scribes, I know y'all see this foolishness. What y'all think about that, scribes?
Yeah, that's suspect.
There you go. You know what I mean? Now that's crazy. Y'all know it. Y'all know the rule is if you see it, that whole line right there supposed to be going one direction, shouldn't it?
Yeah, because that's how Poe had it.
Yep.
What they were saying.
Yep. If you read the Egyptian Book of the Dead, E Wallace Buzz, all them glyphs in his books going one direction.
Right.
You don't never see them come to a point where they facing each other.
Right.
They looking at the serpent. See, this is how you catch them. So
They better leave us alone.
oh man, I told them all they got to do is leave it alone, man. I won't be finding this stuff, and I got to know what this stuff is.
That's
You
where
know, this
logic
is-
introduction come in. That's right.
Oh my goodness! And then you know they're gonna come in with that cognitive distance. Let's see if we got some more down here. There we go again. Look. There we go. We got the bird facing the serpent. But they'll tell you, oh no, that's because you can read it from any direction. Oh my goodness. Make it make sense.
Or they're gonna try to say that partition.
There you go. Yeah, the little line in the middle, that's separating them, the columns.
Yeah.
You know, my thing is the Rebus principle they be talking about. And it's the same thing here. There we go again. See the little glyphs? They all facing this way. Then you got these over there, the little cartouches. They facing this way. So it's not consistent with the way that they say the methodology is to be demonstrated. Look here, right there. You can see it right there. Look, they looking this way and they looking that way. I thought you're supposed to read in one direction. And you can see some of this stuff is just random up here. You know, just out of the way. This is declaration, and it has a lot to do with metaphysics, a lot to do with formulas. We know how to tap into those formulas. And when we go into the formulas give us actual science that relate to things, you know. This methodology they got going crazy over here. I'm gonna show you something too. This symbol right here is a very powerful symbol. Because that symbol everybody adopted right there. That's a goddess symbol too. In the other cultures like the Kushites, I just seen that there. So let me see. I think we got one here too. Let's see. There's a couple of them. Notice these in the. Okay. Yeah, all they did is took a lot of this stuff that was here and refurbished it, so to speak. Let me see if we got. See, here we go again. Here we go. Look at this. See that? This would be facing this way. So here they go now facing the serpent. You know, and it is terrible. It's terrible. We caught them though. We caught them. They can't sell that to the people no more. Anybody that go for it after that, they just don't know what they doing. You know, and they'll go for anything. Now notice how these right here all moving in the same direction. But if you probably get the whole of that and see the whole of it, you'll probably see a lot off from there too. You know, so this is a lot of this stuff they like I said, they reconstructed. They start trying to do their own thing to it. And this ain't the only monument they did this to. They did it to a whole lot of other monuments as well. You know, but you can definitely see that this was merely decoration. You know, this is no more than declaration, like you see people do now on certain things that they build. They put certain patterns on things. And our ancestors used these things the same way. And they were never meant to be took as picture right. You know, and I got a lot of evidence on this stuff too, family. So this is the website that it clicks into once I go there. Like on my slides, you know, I'm gonna have to make the links live, but I got a lot of them in here, family. This is another one right here showing another view of the Pale Temple. Remember, this is one that has been remixed. You know, it was originally from our ancestors. By the time they got through with it, though, it was called the Pale Temple. Let them tell you. You know, and so let me see right here. I'm gonna show y'all this too. This is another one here. Another one of the sites I got connected to it dealing with the Pale complex. And this got some real interesting information on it too. Okay. This actually tell you when it was built. It's some critical information here I want to show y'all. Okay, right here. Watch this. Now the Pale Obelisk is y'all know like the Washington Monument. That's basically what an obelisk is. So they took the Pale Obelisk, right? But look at this here. What they say: the Pale Obelisk is a remarkable ancient artifact that has been the subject of much speculation and debate. It is believed to have been created around 2100 BC, right? 2100 BC in Egypt, right? And was discovered in 1815 by Italian explorer Giovanni Battista Bezzoni. The obelisk is made of granite and stands over 9 feet tall. It is inscribed with hieroglyphics that tell the story of the reign of the pharaoh Ptolemy, the second Philadelphus, who ruled Egypt from 285 to 246 BC. What is wrong with this picture, family? What is wrong? I'm finna show you. If this obelisk existed and it was already there and it stated 2100 BC, Ptolemy wasn't in existence then. So how you gonna come down here later and say that Ptolemy's name, you know, was on here and he didn't rule until 285 to 246 BC? Make that make sense. If this thing existed way back here and wasn't no Ptolemy then, how is his name on the monument?
Yeah, that don't make any kind of sense. I mean, you would have to not know anything about anything to believe that.
Oh my goodness. What the other scribes got to say about that?
Well, he trying to write himself in because he know he didn't even exist, so he have to do that, y'all, to try to put himself into history because he know as far as he look, he see us, and
Yep.
he just trying to get. That's all he doing.
Well,
He trying to get in there,
well,
but
the
he
thing
ain't
of it is, the thing of it is, when they created that Christianity thing, all of that was based on them being holy or something, or have some kind of divinity. So that's what they had to push. You know, they continue to push this. So they had to turn everything around. Islam?
Yep. And
Yeah.
this
you know
right here,
what?
this is smoking gun right here. Go ahead, Grand Secretary.
Yeah. And I was, pardon itself, I was also reflecting on the fact that they are so used to their created Negro black colored mindset as far as our people are concerned. I don't care what I throw up there. You know, you're going to go for it without questioning because we were trained as a people to not question, not think, just accept it because the Europeans said it. And we
Islam,
still see that today.
Islam,
Islam.
Islam, Islam. She hit it the head
Get them, scribes, get them.
She hit him straight head on. Islam, man.
Oh.
But we see you. We exposing them now. Hey, they can't run now. Hey,
Yeah.
we the true fact.
Nowhere to run to.
Well, yeah, well, the thing
No
of it is,
run.
yeah, the thing of it is, they focus on keeping those that don't know, not
Yeah.
ever know.
Right.
That's exactly what.
Yeah.
That's right.
Exactly.
Keep 'em on the
And
back.
give fuel to their agents.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
exactly what's going on. Now watch this. It get even better, family. So now we done exposed them. We read this. Want to make sure our audience see this. The Pele obelisk is a remarkable ancient artifact that has been the subject of much speculation and debate. It is believed to have been created 2100 BC. Ptolemy didn't exist back then, people. So how you gonna come down here later and say it's inscribed with hieroglyphs that tell the story of the ring of Ptolemy, who reigned from 285 to come on, man. You talking about going back to like Middle Kingdom, of Kemet, and then you coming way up here now. Man, that's crazy for somebody to believe that. And then they go further to say that the obelisk is being studied extensively by archaeologists and historians since its discovery. The hieroglyphs on it are believed to tell a story about Ptolemy's relationship with Isis. How?
Oh
When
my God.
Set existed in the time of the cosmology and Kemet coming into being. Ptolemy wasn't nowhere around.
He wasn't nowhere around with ISIS. Oh my God.
And you know what? The other thing about that is
Go ahead.
you're the one telling the falsehood. So why would I believe in this 2100 BC when I know he's, hundreds of thousands of years?
Yep. So what we do,
documenting mess, right?
Yep. So what we do, we have our Damari Yuga calendar. So they ain't even seen a cycle age in their Gregorian calendar yet.
Mm-hmm.
You see, they got 6,000 years in that calendar. So what you do in our cycles, being that we move in 25 and 50,000, you subtract that's 6,000 years from the calendar history. And how much that leaves you, that's where we would calculate our time from. You see what I'm saying? If we were dealing with time calculation. But they ain't nowhere in there, man. We light years ahead of these people. Man, this is terrible, though, for them to say that a monument is ancient and then say that it's a modern person name in the monument. Like, that's going to be a problem. And it don't stop there. Watch this. I'm showing y'all the stuff that I told them to leave this demonstration alone. You think that's It looked good right here looking at this Rosetta Stone, right? The reason we going at this same Pale obelisk because that's the obelisk they said Champollion used, to decipher his measure. This in the Rosetta Stone. Now watch how I blow this up. This finna really, oh man, this is terrible. Now y'all see the script right here, right? You can't see it good, but this is what they like to call Greek, right? This is Demotic right here. This is hieroglyphics right here, right? Ain't no hieratic in here. So you can't say Champollion did nothing with no hieratic because it ain't on the Rosetta Stone. And it ain't in the Pile obelisk neither because we just looked at that. That's pictures. Now, the problem is we know this thing was created by the Ptolemies. What in the world is going on up here? What did they do? They took the script out of here. Looked like either that or they were still trying to remix it and fix their own little demonstration. We know this is the actual part because, this is the main part that you will see them with, this portion here because they only had this part, but they found the top part later. But ask yourself the question, why do they have scribbles in this top part of this? And we know this the original piece because we can tell by this portion right here. It match up perfectly. So what were they doing here? Why did they scribble this stuff out? Or it looked like they scribbled it out and resurfaced it and then start doing their own thing with it. Tell me what y'all think about that, Scribe. I told them not to play with us.
Yeah, they was up to no good.
Defacing something that was,
That's crazy.
They should have left you alone, Dr. Shaheed.
Yeah, they should have.
They didn't poke you enough. So now you done woke up.
Oh,
Man, you people alive. We not the brains.
Oh, man. We having fun, man, bringing this truth out, too.
Yeah,
You
we
know
are.
what's even crazier is that light part. I don't know if anybody ever took a grinder to concrete, but that's exactly what it does to it, that light part.
Yep. Yep. That's what they were doing. They were trying to see if they can grind it out.
Yeah.
Then they said, all right, we're going to scratch it out.
That's crazy.
Same thing they did to the monuments. Now watch this. Watch this. Y'all think that's watch this. Now, this is the same Pele obelisk that we was talking about earlier. They want to say, they'll tell you this, and we ain't going to even put no alphabet on. I'm finna do this just to play around with them real quick. See, they'll tell you this is Ptolemy right here, right? And this is Cleopatra. They'll say that this is, the P. They'll say this is the T, this is the W. They'll say this is the letter L. They'll say this is M, this is Y, and this is S. See, I told y'all I can do that foolishness they be trying to do, right? So they say this means Ptolemies. But y'all, this is crazy. This is real crazy. And then they'll say this is Cleopatra. They'll say this is the letter K. This is the letter L. This is the letter Y. This is the letter W. This is P. This is A. This is T. This is R. And this is A. Cleopatra. Right? These are cartouches. Now, mind you, these are the same Pele obelisk. The one that they said existed 2,100 years ago. And they say Ptolemy name was on it already before he came into existence, right? Now, that's the problem with this obelisk here. Now, this is the greater aspect of it. Watch this. This the part y'all ain't seen. Watch this. It say the inscriptions on the obelisk in the pedestal record their dedication to King Ptolemy. It says Euergetes II and 2 Cleopatras, his queens, who authorized the priests of Isis in the island of Pale. Wait a minute, we're going to stop right there. What is Ptolemy doing authorizing priests of all set? My God. What in the world these people got go? Watch this. It say to erect them about 150 years BC. Remember, they saying that this was erected at 150 years BC. I thought it was supposed to be 200 and some years as a perpetual memorial of exemption from taxation. Remember, they was talking about the priests that they wouldn't put the taxes on and all that, the one that rolled out with Ptolemy and them. Yeah. So before I go into this link right here, I want to see what the scribe got to say about this. Goodness gracious.
Man, believe I can't. You just blowing me away. I can't believe they. I can't believe. Well, yes, I can. I can believe it because they. I mean, they would do anything to write themselves into history. How you gonna be talking to a Set, the goddess, and telling her something you didn't even exist? How you do that? Oh my goodness!
And you got these so-called Egyptologites out here teaching this stuff.
Yes.
Champollion used this monument to decipher the hieroglyph.
I'm like, and I can't understand how our conscious community got caught up in this here stuff here. I mean, that just be blowing me away because when I was in the conscious community, we knew that we was the gods and goddesses of this land. We didn't give no credit to that European. Man,
Because it's filtered with Western Freemasonry.
yes,
That's exactly what's going on.
yeah, I see that now because I'm like,
I actually seen the brother say we actually have to guess at the meaning of the metal netta.
Man,
You sound like Wallace Bullock. Yeah, we got Reggie.
Reggie.
We got Reggie saying that. Yeah,
Man.
he said we got to guess at the meaning of the metal netta, but when we tell him a metaphysical demonstration, they act like they don't recognize it. They guessing at the meaning though.
Yeah, they ain't got no sense.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know. They got that European mind.
This is terrible.
And they don't want to know.
They
They
don't
want to know.
They
And they don't want the people to know.
Don't want the people to know. You know how I know it? Because in that same meeting I'm telling y'all about, I heard that one say something. He was like, man, I wasn't supposed to say that. You're like, what you mean? You're like, I wasn't supposed to say it, in the public. And then, then he talking about, this particular brother had his craft that he created, and this brother got his craft. So, y'all trying to demonstrate secret society. You know what I mean? And so I'm up here bringing it out here, and y'all feel like y'all want to keep the people, blind to it. So they feel like I'm revealing everything that they don't want revealed. So that's why they want to try to attack, our methodology. Now, notice this is a place I'm showing you this for a reason. This is actually in Italy. Watch this. Because I just showed y'all the base of that Pale obelisk. Y'all see what it's at right here. Now look at this. They done went and took the obelisk from over there in Kemet and brought it all the way over to Italy. There it go right there. Either that or it's a complete replica. See it? That's where I got this from. Now look at what it says here. It states, the acquisition of the obelisk that lies incongruously in the park of this English country house was a feat of perseverance. It dates back to 150 BC. Now, this is why I keep asking them, how you going to take this that was created to 150 BC and then say that you deciphering something that existed way back during, the time our ancestors first started carving in stone? You can't do that, people. I don't know why they can't comprehend that. It ain't hard. It says it's constructed in pink granite and is 9 meters high. It was one of the pair that stood outside of the Temple of Isis, Pile, in Aswan, southern Egypt, and the second obelisk was in pieces, and Banks did acquire a piece of it to bring back to Kingston Lacey. It says the 3 granite steps that form the pedestal, it says from a solar altar, it says, and from the temple of Mahakara, dedicated to Isis and Serapis, a Greco Egyptian deity. This ain't even purely Kemet. This Greco Kemet, Greco Egypt, in the lower Nile and South Aswan. So these are so-called Greek temples where they done went and demonstrated their way with it. It says the obelisk, like the Rosetta Stone, had both Egyptian hieroglyphs and inscriptions in ancient Greek. Oh my God. So what the world are we doing You know, if we know Greek is there, we know this thing can't be ancient at all. Not ancient Egyptian if Greek is there. So that's a dead giveaway. It records a petition by the priest of Pele to a revision of taxes and the beneficial response by the ruler Ptolemy. Ergetes, it says in the second, and his queens, Cleopatra and the banks and the scholar of ancient Greek managed to decipher the work. It says Cleopatra, John Francois Champollion. It says a founding of a figure of the Egyptology deciphered the hieroglyphs in 1822. So if there was a scholar of ancient Greek that deciphered, you know, this right here, and they called him Champollion, then what does the Greek have anything to do with these monuments? Because Greek didn't exist during that time, like Ptolemy didn't exist during ancient time. You see how deep this right here gets, Scribes? What y'all got to say about that?
These, you know, I'm really left, you know, speechless, because it just shows that they don't know what they know their beginning, and so it was designed from the beginning to put themselves in anything that had history, and it's almost like, you know, I don't really even know what to say. The evidence is there, and they think it's still up for debate. You know, at some point you just gotta, you know, my uncle always said, he said, I'm done like that as a doctor is with a dead man. Ain't no sense to keep going on when you got all this proof to show that what has been going on is just there's you can't prove their aspect of history. You know what I'm saying? It's just all they're doing is just trying to destroy it, so that in years to come that they were somewhere on the map. You know what I'm saying?
And
And
I
they're not
can
going to be
show
one
this, Brother
history
Batibe,
one.
I can show this to them, and they still wouldn't be able to come up with nothing to debunk these facts so hard.
Right.
Now let's do this. This is the chart right here, right? This they chart. This is around the time, you know, like I said, around the Middle Kingdom. It actually can go back to the intermediary period too. But this is around the time, you know, that this Pele obelisk would have been created. So it didn't even exist back here, right? But this is still way more ancient than Ptolemy. Look at how far you got to go to come up to Ptolemy from the Middle Kingdom. Just the Middle Kingdom now. From here all the way up to here is a long period of time. This is where they come into play down here. And he didn't even come fully in because they came in 330 BC. You see what I'm saying? Hold up. I'm going to show you real quick. Right here.
That's crazy.
So they come into existence way down in this period. This is after the last period down here under the third intermediary period. See it? 664. This is around the time when Alexander them started coming in, around that last time right there. You know, all your Macedonian, it actually more accurately here according to their calendar. So you don't even see Ptolemy them in this calendar. They ain't got here yet. You know, but right here in this calendar, you see it. And the Roman coming after that. You know, this is all the way to 30 BC, right? Now, my thing is, if these monuments came into existence, you know, during this time period, again, how does it have a Ptolemy name on it from the Middle Kingdom when Ptolemy came way after that? And then how you going to use that to try to decipher something that came into existence way back here? The ancestors have been carving them symbols since way in the early dynastic period. It wasn't no Ptolemy or Ptolemaic hieroglyphs on the manifest. So make it make sense, people.
Islam, Dr. Shahi. Wow. As I look at this, okay, I can understand why our people are so confused, and I'm seeing the great God Allah showing me how important it is for us to stand strong and get these truths out here. Because see, our people, when I think about, even I remember when I went to my little old cousin, she was in in school. See, they have taught this they taught this to us ever since we've been born. In school, they taught us this mess. In school, they ingrained all this in us. And I can see why our people are confused. I can see that now. Because this is all you know is what they say. And we sit in these churches and they told us you don't question God and you don't question the preacher and none of that. So you don't even try to do no research. You, like you said, you just taking their word for it. But when you begin to do your research, people, oh man, yes, this is so powerful. I hope our people is getting this. And it, like I say, it is very important for us to get this truth out because they done taught this for years. And it's hard for our people to let it go. But you're gonna have to let it go because documentation beat conversation. Is long.
Every time. You know, and so what they don't know is that the more they try to come up with that stuff, like I say, this truth, we like a boa constrictor. The tighter we get, you know, so we show enough. Now watch this. This is the beginning portion of what I'm gonna open up with. Listen to what they say here. This is talking about the decipherment and the hieroglyphs, right? Now it's something special about this, right? I was talking to the Grand Secretary of the State and Brother Marvin F. Bay about this right here. You know, they talking about the cipher. It says on September 27, 1822. See, they don't know because they talk about this throughout this whole document right here. This day, you know, this day they call it the infamous day, September 27. And you know, being humorous, I say, well, Champollion claimed to have deciphered the hieroglyphics on this day. It ain't strange. That's my birthday. So I was born. I was born to do this. Hey, the date is a sign that I was coming to straighten this foolery out, you know. But no, we just kicking a little humor here. But listen to what they say. It says on September 27, 1822. That's literally 100 years from the time that we started doing this, Morris King, because around 2022 is where we start getting into this. You see, actually 200 years. But it says the Academy in Paris was informed that the hieroglyphs had been deciphered. These are the words chosen in 1912, almost a century after the epochal year by Adolf Ehrman, professor of Egyptology and member of the Royal Peruvian Academy. It says the renewer of Egyptian philology, and when he wrote his small volume, Die Hieroglyphic, it says for the purpose, a popular Goshen series, pardon self. It says, in fact, on that day, the 27th September 1822, John Francois Champollion, at short notice, was given the opportunity to provide the Paris Academy with a summary of his work on the decipherment of the hieroglyphs. In the then popular format of an open letter with an extremely drawn-out title, today referred to in brief as Lettre A.M. Dacier. It says, namely, Lettre A.M. Dacier, Secretary Perpetual, DL Académie Royale des Inscriptions et Belles Lettres, relative à l'alphabet des hieroglyphiques, phonetics employees par les Egyptians pour inscrire sur leurs monuments les tiers, les noms et les surnoms des Serviens, Greeks, Exi, Roman. Boy, them people talk funny. But anyway, it goes on. And it says one section, hold up, pardon self. Here's some comments. It says of these three scholars. In 1855, Bussin, it says more on him below declares openly in one of the 5 volumes of his Egyptian stele, India, Wexgens, Chickatee, whatever that is. It says, still we confidently maintain that no man living is competent to read and explain using Champollion's system, and they put it in brackets. Let me blow that up a little bit. The whole of any one section of the Book of the Dead, far less one of the historical papyri. So they saying nobody can use Champollion's system to read the Book of the Dead, less knowing some historical papyri. It said even Frenchman Diderot, which was another one of their scholars, also more on him below, admits in 1851 in the context of one of the earliest or more or less coherent translation of an ancient Egyptian text, that the translation of these lines would have been impossible at the stage of Egyptological knowledge where Champollion left it at his death. Oh my God, they don't want this. I'm telling you, they don't want this, boys. They don't want it. Now watch what it say. Lepsius finally concedes in a lecture given at Berlin Academy as late as 1855 that indeed the inscriptions are not few in number. It says, which we are completely unable to understand. It says, with our current knowledge, and we cannot even remotely guess at their content. Oh, but I thought they say we got to guess to read some metanetta. Say we cannot even remotely guess at their content, right? It says, returning to Uliman, it says in the later section of his history of Egyptology, he cites Lepsius. It says, and Lepsius confessing in 1855 that as yet not even the inscription of the Rosetta has received a philological commentary. So they just took the Rosetta Stone and claimed that Champollion hadn't even been to Kemet or nothing when he could so-called transliterating this stuff. It says only a bare translation guided by the Greek text has ever been given. This means that as late as 1855, not even the famous Rosetta Stone, the bilingual monument in Egyptian and Greek, it didn't say nothing about no Coptic, did it? It say which had played a key role in the decipherment of the hieroglyphs and been systematically studied, right? We got one more right here. Because I know my scribe biting at the bit now. Hold up. Let me see. I think I double posted that right there. So yeah, that one was it. So scribe, what y'all think about that right there?
This is, like I said, man. There's certain ones that when it comes down to information and proving, you should probably just leave alone. And and when it comes down to having this much irrefutable information, you know what I'm saying, that you could be shown and you still deny, that's a level of ignorance that, and for those that get emotional about the word ignorant, it means to ignore. You have it in front of your face and you're ignoring what it's saying because you have what they call it in law, a vested financial interest into you misleading the people with your information. At some point in time, you're gonna have to just, bow out gracefully, and this would be the time to bow out gracefully because the information is incorrect. And that's what we, here we call bogus building materials. You can't build off of falsehood or misinformation and think you're going to get right when you got. That's pretty much all I can say. I'm at it's crazy. It's just crazy. Yeah, it's too crazy.
That's exactly what's going on. Bogus building material. Okay, Islam. Any other scribe want to comment on that? Goodness gracious. This is terrible. Well, all right.
I'm at a loss for words. I just don't know what to say.
So we gonna go a little further in a second here, since we got a little more time till we close out. And look at this here, right? This is another. Now these are the three scripts too, by the way, that they claim was on, the Rosetta Stone: hieroglyphics, Demotic, and Greek. Ain't no hieratic up in there nowhere. Now let's think about it. This language didn't exist. The Greek, as they calling it, we know that ain't nothing but a corrupt version of trying to come from the Coptic. But then this language didn't exist either. You see, the Demotic didn't exist, right? these symbols and pictures was already in existence before these came into existence, right? And then come to find out, this text up here that they call in written language, so to speak, but really is, they see, that's another thing too. It's a difference. It's a reason why hieroglyphs are called sacred carvings or sacred engravings. Engraving and writing is two different things, people. That's another bomb right there to drop on the people. You see, if hieroglyphs means sacred carvings, you know, deals with the carved impressions, holy impressions as they call it. That's different from writing, family. That's a whole nother measure. The proper definition of hieroglyphs had to do with sacred carvings. So what you tell me, they were communicating, they gonna carve, you know how long it take to carve that stuff. If they were communicating with each other like that in language before they actually spoke some language, boy, they were slow. And we mean that in the literal way. They had to be slow. They literally sitting up there carving. All right, now we want you to go to read up there what I'm saying on the wall right there. Yeah, we want y'all to go read on the wall. That's how we communicate now. It's almost like a slower version of sign language. You know what I mean? Only difference is they ain't moving their hand. At least sign language a little faster if you know how to read it. But you ain't finna be sitting there, all right, somebody communicating with you, they carving. Was he standing there watching him carve what he had to say? Because that's how they want to make our people seem like they cavemen. He up there carving it. I got something I want. You know how we take a piece of paper and we write something on a piece of paper and we show it to somebody. They want us to believe that our ancestors were standing there chiseling out their conversations in the wall. Come on, man. I mean, it don't take a rocket scientist, man, to figure this stuff out. This is crazy. Why do we do ourselves like this? Now watch this. I know our scribe don't. Scribe, do y'all think that any of our people were chiseling conversations in the wall?
Do you know how long it? Think about a stenographer that type. If they that fast, they that slow. They
bad boy, man. They had to be terrestrials if they were doing it like that. You know. Oh, wait a minute. Let's get a benefit of the doubt. Let's just say they had some stampings. And they were just stamping it in wet mud. And that's how they were talking to each other. Stamp, 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 stamp.
See how crazy that sound.
Yeah, you can see them going to work. Yeah, I'm talking to you now. Stamp, 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 stamp. And then he respond, he stamp it too.
My goodness.
I tried to speed up the process because you know you ain't gonna chisel nothing. Man, it take probably a whole month. So you mean to tell me you got to wait? That's literally holding the thought.
It's love. Great. It's love.
So now when we come over here, this is another measure from the same book. It says back to Achablad. Because you know he was one of the first people to start trying to mess with this stuff for Champollion. It says in early 19th century, his achievement did not receive the recognition it deserved. And by the 20th century, it was forgotten partly because it was of no consequence for advance in the study of Demotic, partly because Achablad's method of identifying Egyptian and Greek equivalences could only be transferred to the hieroglyphic text after a long interlude, and not least because Champollion was one of those people who would like to claim achievements for themselves and only reluctantly acknowledge contributions of the predecessors of rivals, despite Saucy and Achablad method of having aided his own breakthrough with hieroglyphs in 1822. Now, so when you looking at this here, they going in, they say Champollion won the team player. You know, he was trying to get all the glory, you know, for the self, so to speak. Now, here's one of those monuments that came from the Ptolemies as well, you know, that they put themselves in. They want Ptolemy to be Ptah. You know, 1 minute he's supposed to be offering something to Ptah, and next minute he's supposed to be Ptah. Because you do know Ptolemy Come to find out, it's not even in the hieroglyphic text of the Rosetta Stone. The name is actually the name Ta, they say. So, how did Ptolemy become Ta? And Ta was a creator in ancient Kemet. Ta existed from the beginning. He was the craftsman. What are they doing? Like, this thing gets ugly, family. And I got probably 70 some different slides up. Actually, it's 100 in here. So y'all know it get way worse than this, right? You know, I told you, now watch this. This is one of the papyrus here, right? This is again Ptolemy Philadelphia's. See the relief? You know, they got the inventory measure on it. And look at what it says. This say panel A shows Ptolemy of Philadelphia standing before Ptah. 1 minute they called him Ptah, now he's offering something. He's adoring him and presenting him his right hand with a statue of Ma'at to the god. Now we know good and well Ptolemy it wasn't rhyme when Ma'at the goddess was rhyme either. But this is their depiction of it. See what I'm saying? The same thing I just showed you. Now watch what it say down here. This how y'all know it's crazy. This is a translation of a particular text, right? Offering Ma'at truth to his father that he may give life. It says Horus of Edfu, the great god, Lord of the sky. Now Edfu was a place that was built by the Ptolemies too, by the way. It says Usakare, Meri Amen, mighty is the soul of Re, beloved of Amun, right? It says, and that's Mir. Remember I tell y'all Mir is the name of Amen, Meri Amen. That's what they're going into. It says Ptolemy, may he live eternal. Now y'all know good and well, this text didn't come from no ancient Kemet. What is Ptolemy named? May all protection of life and prosperity be behind him like rain. Ta, Lord of Ma'at, the king of the two lands, fair face, who is upon the great throne, the great God who is in Dendera. I give you an eternity as the king of two lands, Sekhet of the two lands, mistress of all foreign lands, the great beloved of Ta, and mistress of the sky. Goodness gracious. Now, what y'all think about this one, Morris King? Is that overkill?
It ain't gonna be overkill because you know they hard headed and it ain't gonna be overkill when you present it, but it's overkill here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and see, I see our brother say, he said, you looking bad, Kamish. He said, hieratic is rarely written on stone. Who said hieratic was being written on stone here? That's the problem. Because hieratic is actually written on stone in certain aspects. I got that over here. It's written on ostraca. But in fact, hieratic is the oldest writing that's had, and hieratic actually exists from Zero Dynasty, by the way. And I got all that in this slide right here. But if somebody gonna try to argue with all of this after all this evidence right here, you part of the problem.
Yeah.
So now this is actually a reference being made to what we just read a few minutes ago. Oh, we got this stuff collaborate. It says, even if something like the Ta, beloved, is written, it has to be read as the beloved of Ta. One might add in 1802, Akablet had already observed this issue with the word order of the Demotic version and correctly identified Ta in beloved. It says, despite having missed the mark in his explanation of the issue and in the explanation of the writing for Ta, overall, of 204 equations of Egyptian and Greek content related phrases, which in general could not yet be read phonetically. Still ain't been read phonetically neither. Established by Young from the Rosetta Stone, not even half are correct. This point is not made to diminish Young's contribution, and Thomas Young was a peer of Champollion. It says the observation is important in that it illustrates the problem of matching texts, and especially that of matching the versions of the text word for word. While correct equivalents were indeed reached on this basis, the erroneous or doubtful ones were still too numerous for such a method to solve the meaning of individual hieroglyphs. There was simply too many possibilities for trial and error and method to reach the target within a reasonable period of time. So they're trying to match the Greek with the Demotic and so forth and so on, and match the Demotic with the Egyptian hieroglyph. Here's an example of that right here. In the hieroglyphic line on that Rosetta Stone that I showed y'all, they found the beloved of Ptah, they saying, right? According to their method of decipherment. But Ptolemy saying that it was Ptolemy's name in there that corresponds with that. How is that even possible? No, Ptolemy superimposed itself in the history. You see? And this is actually the actual language on those monuments as well. See it there? Greek. And they correspond in this Greek stuff to this stuff here. So, like, family, I got so much stuff in here that I ain't even mentioned yet. You know, just showing you the difference between anaglyphs and all that right there. And like, it gets worse. And I want to show our family this too as well. You know, just so that we have a drawing right here. Where is it? Here it is right here. This is your inscription on stone, family, right here. For our family in the audience. See? That's hieratic right there in stone. If you think they never wrote hieratic on stone, brother, you've been greatly disinformed and you've been disproved. So if you want to keep going with that, all is well. We just here to put the teaching out there. Now watch this. Let's give our people some insight. Hieratic, right? In Greek, they called it grammata hieratica, priestly script, as opposed to hieroglyphic. Hieratic is a cursive script primarily applied by pen on papyrus or on ostracon. And that's what that is right there. That's ostracon right there, family. Right? So it says that is broken into potsherd, a fragment stone. It is a mistake to think that hieratic developed out of hieroglyphs, since hieratic appears earlier. Hieratic appears earlier. We're going to say it one more time for the people that can't hear it in the back of the room. Since hieratic appears earlier, I don't know what earlier means to somebody else, but I know what it means to me. In the archaeological record than hieroglyphics. Since the hieratic appears earlier in the archaeological record than hieroglyphic. In fact, the oldest extant texts from Egypt, which date to the pre-dynastic period, were produced with ink and brush, with no indication that the signs descended from hieroglyphs. So everybody out here that keep telling y'all that these hieratic signs come from hieroglyphs, they wrong. They wrong, family. And I got a whole bunch of more sources saying the same thing. This ain't the only one. They have understanding. And I got this stuff in chronological order too. It says, in fact, the oldest extant texts from Egypt, which date to the pre-dynastic period, 0 dynasty, it says, were produced with ink and brush with no indication that the signs descended from hieroglyphs. Rather, the two writing systems seem to have developed conjointly side by side, meaning they was demonstrating hieratic at the same time this measure was dealing with the inscriptions, the system they put on the wall. Of course, the pictures were there, but they were not a language to be wrote or spoken. Meteray and Kemet or hieratic was the spoken in the written language. It says only rarely were inscriptions written on hard stone in hieratic script, which served for a more commonplace and everyday purposes. It say they rarely were written, but it didn't say that they wasn't written on stone. So we got to correct you there. Hieratic also appears to have been called Medu Neter, God's speech. We talked about this too. You know, there was even referred to. So when you say Medu Neter, that's not even referring to, you know, a particular language as far as dealing with earthly language. God's speech is not a speech that can be heard, seen with the naked eye. God's speech we hear by listening to the silent voice that speak within, i.e., this is why Yehoshua, the neophyte, was told in our teaching about the Egyptian adept to go in there and search out the meaning of these things. He wasn't given no dictionary. He wasn't given no Rosetta Stone. He was told to sit in there and find himself. Huh? I know our scribes got something to say about that. What y'all think about that, scribe?
I think that part where he's talking about sitting there and find yourself and think about what these things are trying to express is, that's the way it's supposed to be done, instead of, what I'm saying, because there's a deeper meaning. You ponder something, you can always gain a deeper meaning once you reread it or reanalyze. You're going to get a more in-depth understanding. And that's why to put it into a language restricts the growth of the information that the pictures the pictograms are trying to depict.
Islam, that's real. Yes, sir.
Islam, and I think about when Yehoshua, when the Hierophant led him into the pyramids and told him to ponder what was on the walls and stuff, and like Dr. Batabe said, as you continue, it'll keep opening up to you. I mean, it's like eternal. It just keep opening up and opening up. I mean, oh wow.
Sister Curtis Bay.
Yes, sir.
It was a Rosetta Stone on the entry when he went in there, right?
No, I did not know. I did not know that.
No, I'm just being funny. I'm being humorous.
Yeah, we need some.
He had a Rosetta Stone in there on the way in there. That's how he deciphered.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. Yeah, I got you.
I mean, that's how they'll try to tell the story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was before Champollion time, though, right?
I know, right? All this is before any of them's time. I just don't have nothing to say how they can just.
Now, see, this is how you take the European source and use it against them, right?
There you go.
Now this is one of their language charts. Now, notice it's saying the same thing that I just read.
Mm-hmm.
That hieroglyphic and hieratic existed side by side as far as dealing with when they come into existence.
Right.
But the pictorial has always been there as well, but this is the actual language, the hieratic.
Mm-hmm.
So this been since the Old Kingdom. Now, didn't we tell you that the Papyrus Priest say, the oldest book in the world go back around this time here? This is actually 200 BC right here too.
Right.
They done put this in the Old Kingdom now. See, this is why I tell you the Ptolemy time. This is a prime example when I say that Ptolemy's time line is off. Now watch this. This is the Old Kingdom right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
2100 BC. I'm gonna go back up there to that chart. This is important right here. This is very important. Look at this. Now look at 2100 BC on this chart right here. There it go right there. What do it say right here, people? 2100 will fall in this. What kingdom that is?
Middle Kingdom of Egypt.
You see that?
Mm-hmm.
So how is going to be the Middle Kingdom and the Old Kingdom time at the same time?
Right.
So when I tell them, that's like 1,000 years off. You see, how we going to depend on that for time calculation, family?
Right.
We can't do this. We got to do better. Now watch this. Hieroglyphic and hieratic writing compared. Importance to hieroglyphic writing, it says the following example is the hieratic writing is taken from the Priestly Papyrus, which is the oldest. Now notice they dating this from 2600 BC, right? It says 2 texts containing the moral precepts, which I was reading out of last night, the Book of Tahotep, right? Were composed about 1,000 years earlier and written. This is not hieroglyphs though. Now, what they did, they say now, if we transcribe these into hieroglyphs, which is exactly what they did, they say this is the reed leaf, this is the mouth. You see what I'm saying? Because they're going through it. This is the mouth right here. Then this number 3. They say that this is the rabbit. Then this is
The
Yeah,
war.
four is the water they saying down here. When that's a whole thing together there. So I
Right.
don't know how they breaking it up like that. You know, and
Well,
that's what they did. This is
yeah.
what they mean when they say transcribe. You know, a transliterated text. This is the original text though. So people got to explain why y'all ain't teaching the people this.
Right.
This is the original. This is the original primary source right here. This they created. I ain't even got the X subscribe what they think about that. I mean, come on, this is like literally, this is terrible. You
And
know,
Dr. Shahi, when you were showing how they split that up. See, that's the way they do. See, they always got to come in and separate stuff. See, they don't see the whole thing. See, they see in part anyway. So yeah. He doing what he do.
and
Yeah.
I ain't even showed y'all the newest, oldest papyri because they found some older papyri out there too, and it's definitely hieratic too. But we
Right.
gonna get into it. We ain't gonna put everything out here right now.
Right. Yes.
So,
Yes. Yes.
cause this is enough right here for them to go back and scramble over right here. So
Yeah.
this is terrible.
You got them nervous now.
This is real terrible right here. You know, we are not playing over here. I'm just scanning up through here to show y'all some of this stuff. Some of this y'all hadn't seen yet, because I've been digging it up.
Yes.
But this is terrible. We're gonna show you where the real aspects of the writing come from.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? All this right here is something else. When we get into where it really come from, as far as the actual writing, and show you how they remixed this here, look at that chart right there. This
Right.
chart from 1895. Notice it's showing you that the origin of all alphabets come from hieratic. See, we ain't put this out there yet. And then it came into Phoenician. Then the Hebrews adopted them from that. Then Syriac came from that. And it went so forth and so on. You see? Oh, man. This is terrible right here. So all I can say is I hope they ready. My main thing is that our people got to have the truth, family. We got to stop playing with ourselves. We got to stop faking it to make it. Because that's what they're doing, faking it to make it. And start writing your own history. That's why we give honors to our Grand National Chairman for writing the Book of Fire. A lot of these people ain't got the courage, to come out here and write nothing, to free their people. They scared to think free thoughts. Man, please, I wish a member would. And I ain't even through with it yet. This ain't even compared to the other chart that I got outside of this. Sources upon sources. So I don't need nothing to convince me. I already know I know what I'm talking about. We know what we talking about, Scribe. So I'm going to close on that note right there. I just wanted to bring that measure into the manifest. But when you're dealing with a people, that is ill when it comes to certain measures. You know what I mean? One's got to really get it together. Like our brother is speaking on what he say is cursive, meant to be connected. I'm gonna just let you learn, good brother. Because you come in here all the time, you'll get it in a little bit. We love you. We ain't your enemy. So with that being said, let me call forth my Grand National Secretary of State. Islam, you there, goddess and queen. I already know you got a whole lot to give us.
Islam, gratitude.
Islamism without goodness gracious.
You know what? I having already given praise and honor where due. There really are no words. In one way you see the unfoldment as far as being able to uncover the remix and what was done. And then the other, I was just thinking about how you have nations now in this era of time going to places like British Museum, give us back our mess, in essence. You know what I mean? Because it's stolen. And then you defaced it and things of that nature. We should be outraged, not coming from a passionate level, but when we take pride in what is ours and step up to the plate, then in essence, we are the ones that need to establish the museums, because all of this stuff is ours. But when one wants to take, deface it, and then put their name on it, and we should be used to that by now. But it's the truth is on the scene. That's really all I have to say. And much gratitude to you for bringing it forth, because when you look at it from logic, reason, deduction, this stuff just doesn't make sense. But if you didn't have the foundation like what the prophet brought to us, then we still be in a state of being lost. So gratitude more for exposing these degrees, and breaking us out of that zombie mode in reference to one's cup is full. So this has just been a grand blessing. Much gratitude to you, Dr. Shahid, for bringing these degrees forth, because the more it's for me, the more it's brought forth, the more I'm comprehending, unfolding, and it's making sense. Islam.
And Islamism, yeah, it's a sad situation where we can literally see people saying they want their stuff back. Now, when it's convenient to them, they'll try to acknowledge some so-called remix, for example. They'll try to say, look at what the Arabs did. But then they skip all over what Rome did. And then they trying to use a monument that was used to oppress our ancestors. The Rosetta Stone was a propaganda tool created to basically impose taxes on our people. No more than a bill like they pass in the White House that go against our people. In other words, the Rosetta Stone was affirmative action during the time of the Ptolemy being taken away, like they just took it away in this time. Goodness gracious. So it was a propaganda tool, and it was about quelling the rebellion. So it's like one of them COINTELPRO documents they write up, to keep the people from rising up, so to speak. Consider them counter-revolutionaries, counter-terrorism degrees, so to speak. That's what the Rosetta Stone was based on. Ptolemy coming in, conquering, taxing our people to death. You got a few sellout priests with him. You know what I mean? Mixing and superimposing Greek, with hieroglyphics. And then Champollion come up later talking about he done deciphered something based off of a monument that was created during the time of the Ptolemy. It don't make no sense, like you said, Grand Secretary of State. And we definitely ain't trying to make it make sense. The only thing we want to make sense to our people is that our people have been bamboozled, led astray, run amongst, and all that right there, and they eating it up. But my thing is, I asked the question, if the Rosetta Stone was used as a tool to push Ptolemy's propaganda and also put a declaration out there, an APB, so to speak, out on the people that was native Egyptians that was still trying to come back to keep them oppressed. If it was created for that, then why is there not an outcry? That's why I say take the whole Rosetta Stone and throw it in the trash. Because when it's the other way around, and they go to saying, oh, the Moors participated in slavery, all somebody got to do is tell you that. You ain't got no proof of that. Proof don't exist that no Moors enslaved our people like they try to claim they do. There were Moroccans that actually dealt with the enslavement of the people. We got many Africans that enslaved Africans, so to speak. But my thing is, and only an unconscious Moor would try to enslave their people. But my thing is, why is there not an outcry the same way against that stone when it's basically gloating over the kill of our ancestors? We shouldn't even want to. That's just like the Christian wearing a cross around their neck. They say Jesus was crucified on the cross, but yet they wear the cross around there. It ain't no different than in the streets when they wear AK-47 around their neck. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing. Why would you wear something that represents the death or the torture if that's what you believe, this supposed to be your Messiah. That's something I came to grips with when I was dealing with the Piscean records. You know, it's not glorious to say that one was killed. If this one is immortal, then this one is immortal. You can't kill something that's immortal. You know, just speaking in general, I understood that when I was dealing strictly with the Piscean records. But nevertheless, that's what I'm saying. They're taking symbols and monuments that promote our enslavement and talking about somebody done used it to translate the language of our ancestors. Man, get out of here with that foolishness. All right, let us move on to the scribes. But we're going to go forth to our Grand National Chairman first, you know, because he's a master scribe. Is our chairman there? Dr. Akin Acton Pert M. Head Root Tooth the Common Bay.
No, sir, Moore. He's not available.
Okay, gratitude. We love the grand man. Well, our national grand sheik is on the manifest. Islam sheik. You there, grand man?
Islam, closer to thought.
Islamism.
Ooh-wee.
Islam. We can hear you now, sheik. Go ahead.
Islam. This is a grand demonstration, Angel, and participation in it to give us back our memory, give us back our language, give us back our sound. And it's good that you have been a constant and steady, and the assistants that are with you, the guidance of this nation, will be the ones to put this script back out there in the ethers, and it'll be done by the Moors or the Moabites when we be able to take it on the sands of time and write our name in the language of our forefathers and how we did it, you know, with one straight path. We can show how they stole it and how we came back and reclaimed it. And we put, you know, our signature of God's sin on it, where the ones that come after us know that we was here and that we did this not for us but for them. And this is why we ask ones on a day-to-day basis to get in your lessons. Get in your lessons, Mo, because this demonstration here is too big to be told, or it's not told, but sold. It's too big to be sold, and if one needs to have idea of where we at along the way with the language of our forefathers and grasp and pin that to our royal uh, assembly. That way, when we speak, we're speaking as the angels do. It'll be a language that only the angels will use, Sheik. And I sure appreciate you being the headstone and getting things started, and your staff, this beautiful staff, these ones here, I'm telling you, when they put it on a manifest, it's going to be like a brand new language hit the earth land. And they, because you know they know how to twist everything, we straighten it out. That's what the prophet said we got to do anyway. Straighten them more, straighten them European out. You know, give him some direction, I'm saying, to get back home. Because as long as he's off his plantation, he's going to keep causing confusion. But we here, and we're glad that you are here also to straighten that out and keep us not in a state of confusion. Islam.
Islam, Sheik, yes, sir. We definitely got work to do. And what it is, I think that most of our family is they getting the wrong gist, even though we say over and over. We're not discounting the metanetta as far as dealing with the pictures. We are saying that the pictures are not, a spoken language in the form that we speak it. It's a language of the gods, which is not spoken. It's not written, like we write. They are meant to be conveyed in a symbolic, metaphorical, allegorical, and symbolic expression. And they are actually formulas. And when we go into the formulas based on the mathematical degrees, we see that there's a lot more behind the symbol than just saying that the symbol represents the letter K, the symbol represents the letter J, the symbol represents the letter E, because you put the picture in a box and give it one meaning, and now you lock that demonstration up, and one can't go up in there and get the real wisdom out of the symbol, because one think these letters, that they have created have become an alphabet, from pictures, and nothing can be further from the truth. To truly see the pictures, and understand them, you got to read the book of creation. And that's around you every day. So we ain't in Kemet right now, but we can go out the door and see everything that Kemet had on their walls. We can see people when we go out the side our door. We can see certain trees. When we go outside the door, we seen them in the metal net, as they call them, out of glyphs. We can see certain animals. Some of them that's actually indigenous to here, found in the Egyptian writings. You see, so they speak, right? So when we go into all of these special measures, it don't get no plainer than that right there. You read metanetta by listening to the silent voice that speak within, and you read your essence. It ain't got nothing to do with reading. That's why Yahushua was taught to go find himself. That's what the master said when he gave him the charge, find yourself. That's what that particular, those formulas represent. They represent, again, I say it all the time, the original teachings of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. That's what can be found in those pictures, which is far more greater than Champollion alphabet chart he created. With that being said, we're going to go to the scribes. Islam.
Islam.
Go ahead.
Islam.
You got to go, Brother Evans Bay. You can go ahead on. I know you got to go. Go ahead. I'll let you go.
Gratitude, because I'll be quick. I just wanted to say, I just want to say gratitude to the master instructor today for all that he's done, all that he's doing, all that he's continuing to do. And, reflecting on our people and dealing with their interpretations of language or past language, it just bears witness to what the prophet said. He said, purify your hearts and minds. You know what I mean? And just like you just said, that the husband was instructed to go find yourself. You know what I mean? So this is what it's all about. This is what the language of the ancients is all about. You know what I mean? Developing that inner self, that true self. And so a lot of these things that you bring it on to manifest, our people haven't considered purifying their hearts and minds. I mean, that's what I would say. You know what I mean? So a lot of things going to go over their head. A lot of things they will never see because they're looking through carnal eyes, for one thing. And they caught up hook, line, and sinker, on the Europeans' concept of life, period. It appears as though that they're in charge, they're running things, but they had a certain time. You know what I mean? It's written all through the scriptures. They had a certain time. Their time is up, but it's up to us as a people. But as long as we're going to be backbiting, uh, criticizing, be so critical about our own, and give the European a pass, you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. Um, and I just give honors to you for having the patience. And I know we have to have the patience, but I think I'm just not there yet. I'm striving, and you are the example that we are to follow, along with what the prophet brought, and what our North American government is guiding us to. I just say just gratitude for all you do, gratitude for the scribes, and gratitude to those that showed up. Hopefully, they have a pure heart and mind. And gratitude for allowing me to speak. Islam and peace.
In gratitude and Islam and peace, good brother. We give honors to you for that, thought. It don't get no plainer than that. Ooh-wee. All right.
Islam. Dr. Dinger and the occult debate again. Um, I'm kind of stuck for words, but this has been a powerful class, and the one thing I want to say, to our listeners, especially, when you come in listening to us, I challenge you to come with an open mind. Don't come with your mind already closed that we can't tell you anything, or we are not telling you the truth. If you want to learn, you're going to have to come with an open mind. You're going to have to be teachable. I know for myself, it's just certain things, I when you're dealing with the European, keep in mind, family, when we talked about Ptolemy and all of, in Alexander the Greek and all of them, these are the same people that gave, especially us who was rooted and grounded in Christianity. These are the people that gave us that blonde hair, blue-eyed man and named Jesus, and had us looking outside of ourselves and to somebody that they had made up. And do your research. They made him up. And but these are the same people. And do you think? Ask yourself, do you actually think that these same people, these are the same people that did tests on you too? The Tuskegee, and they gave you syphilis. They did all of these negative things to you. Now, they knew who you were. You are the gods of this world. They know that. But they did all of these negative things to you. Now, do you actually think that they going to all of a sudden get a good heart on them and turn around and tell you the truth? Do you actually think that as they continue, even to this day, they killing you and doing all these things to you, and yet you still stay loyal to this type of, now I ain't talking about no hate or nothing like that. Now don't get me wrong what I'm saying. I'm just saying you got to recognize truth when you hear it. You got to recognize the truth. They are not going to tell you the truth, because once you find out who you really are, then they won't be able to control you. And our prophet said, those that were with him 2,000 years ago are with him today. Those that were against him 2,000 years ago are against him today. And what I'm seeing is maybe all the ones who don't accept the truth, maybe you wasn't with the prophet 2,000 years ago. Maybe you was one of those ones who was against him then. I don't know. But all I can say is, family, keep coming. Come with an open mind. Don't come with your mind already made up that that we ain't telling you the truth and all this stuff. Open up your mind and listen. And we giving you the research. Do the research yourself. We're not making this stuff up. And I just challenge the ones who out there who listening with an open mind. You stay here. Stay here. We're gonna give you some more. and it's good. And we're not gonna lead you wrong. But those naysayers, just kind of walk away from them, because it's time for the truth to come forth, and it's time out for games, time out for playing. And if you really want to learn the truth, if you really want to know the truth, because I was a truth seeker, I wanted to know. Maybe you don't want to know the truth, but if you really want to know the truth, stay here and listen to these teachings, and come on home to your Moorish American government. Islam, gratitude, family, peace, and love.
And Islam and gratitude, Sister Curtis Bay, for that special drawing, and most definitely peace and love to you as well. I want to share this real quick before we go out. I know our brother Bati Bay getting ready to come in here. We're gonna let you close it out, sister. I want you to see this right here, and this is demonstrated under the Fair Use Act. So we're not claiming to own this content. We just sharing this with our people. With reasonable critique. Which is under the Fair Use Act. So that's a disclaimer we putting out here. But look at this here. Can you see my screen sharing, sister? It's moving around.
Islam, I see a man up there.
Yeah, that's the brother. That's Reggie. Now listen to what he say real quick. Watch this.
Okay, that's Reggie.
Yeah. Watch this.
And some people think her name is Hawat Hor or Hador, but her name is Bot. And we'll find that out later, but I'll show you Bot in a few seconds, right? So one of the things that we have to sometimes guess when we're reading the Meta Nature until we can go and verify, right? But
did you hear that? Guess until you can verify.
Islam, I heard that.
You hear that, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We should always guess when it comes with the language in mind, right? So we shouldn't go like this and say stuff like that. We should have an idea. And so hopefully today on this journey, I can focus on a few pieces that I might be able to read for the public, right? And discuss a few things. So thanks again. We'll come back to you. We'll try to find you at another point. We're going to go into your office space.
But that's the gist of that. And there was one more spot over here I was telling y'all about earlier. I want to say it was probably at the 40 mark and on. And then we'll go to our brother Bati Bay. Let's see, from here, we'll start from the 40. Because it was right in this area right here. Okay. Let's see. We got a little buff.
Give her power and life. Yeah, life, right? All, right? And then this is give her stability and I don't know, in place, I'm guessing, and then incur her under, I'm not so sure, but this is a phrase. So I would have to check.
You know what I'm saying?
So,
but you wanna attack me, but I'm guessing. I'm not so sure.
Right.
Come on now.
Come on.
I did better than him when I was playing with him with the Ptolemy and the Cleopatra. If I was trying to read it like that.
All right.
Now watch this.
Yes.
The one on the top.
Oh, that's her name. Right here?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that's supposed to be Nefertari Merit Mut, right? Her name. But this symbol right here, oh, no, this is the Adept. This is Know Thyself. This is above every temple.
He say Bay Adept, but it's really the Bay Adept. Yeah, that's the real seal in the real history behind our Egyptian Adeptus research Sultanate symbol.
Right.
It's the Bay Adept, not the Bay Adept.
This is the symbol. I shouldn't have said that.
Why not? Is it a secret society or something?
Well,
say it, man.
Well, This symbol is when Horus defeated Set. He defeated him, becoming the Horde Beadet. When Horus was fighting Set as a young boy, he was very fragile. He had a lot of jealousy, a lot of issues, a lot of dirty tricks. His emotions was messed up, right? It was only when he became the Horde Beadet, right, that he was able to defeat his uncle. However, this symbol right here, I guess it's your Genesis automobile, your, I don't know if it's on your Volkswagen. It's in a lot of automobiles, right? The Beadet, the winged raw.
The Bayadet.
Yes, the Beadet. But that's what it means. It means knowledge of self. And the reason why I kind of hesitated is because there's a lot of people in our community that are pseudo, and they'll take this and, you know, for them, it means money. You know what I'm saying? It means now occult information, right? But it's called the Bayadet, right? And this is what Dr. Ben taught us. Every temple that you go under, Dr. Ben, to his people, would say, and keep it moving. To the rest of the groups of people, he might just say, this is the Bayadet. But one of his students, Brother William Randolph X, I was like, look, we read George M. James, brother X. He was a follower of the Elijah Muhammad.
Now y'all hear the masonry talking about occultism and all that, right?
But he started studying Nile Valley under Dr. Ben and became one of Dr. Ben's best students. And I says, okay. And he says, well, you know, Brother Reggie, he's in the craft. He's in the craft of Hunefer, right? No, that's actual crazy craft.
Okay.
Amin Ra, craft of Hunefer. It's Dr. Ben's craft. The craft that he created. Dr. Ben's craft is the order of mystery systems. That's another level. But the people.
But when we talk about the mystery system is era time, he have questions. How did that mystery system come to be? Who created it? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
He initiated, it's called the craft of Hunefer. And we've seen some of them during his funeral. Yes. And we've seen one of our great teachers perform as the Keriheb, right? Which is the chief priest. That's none other than Brother James Small, performed the ceremony for Dr. Yosef Ben Jochanan.
Yeah.
That was, and so.
And he had on the leopard skin.
Yeah. And it's funny, you got a piece around here about the leopard skin, right? It's in the other room. We'll get to that room, right? Yeah. It's very interesting. Let me break down the priesthood before we go there.
You know, that's basically showing you that, you know, ones is trying to push that masonry up through the teachings, basically. And, and they look at me as giving up too much, giving up stuff they don't think should be given to the public. And so they trying to, the way Masons try to come against you, one way they try to blackball you if they can. Another way they try to turn the opinion of the public against you.
Right.
They want the public to think that you crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. You know, and they'll go to great lengths, you know, to try to fight you on the truth. That's how Masons do.
Right.
You know, that's why one can never really be a part of that type of demonstration, because, you know, they slave masters, slave catchers, slave breakers, and slave holders.
Dr. Shaheed, let me ask you something right quick. When he was talking about Haru, I don't agree with that.
I don't neither. I know nobody don't. Talking about he was in his feeling. That's actually a Reggie character.
Yes, I'm like, who are you talking about? I don't recognize that Haru he talking about. Well, he calls him Horus. I call him Haru.
He speaks against Kemet too. A lot of people don't know that. He's actually against Kemet.
Okay.
You know, he talks like he for Kemet, really speak down on the ancestors and everything, which is against the Ma'atic law.
Yeah.
Tell you not to plunder the ancestors in Ma'at. You don't speak against it. You don't go and cause pain or confusion. You know, so one is really not honorable. But you know, we just putting it out there
Yeah, I
Not for
just
the
want to
sake
make
of assassinating the character. We showing you how inconsistent these people is. I can show you what a man said, that this language was symbolic, and then he turned right around when I caught it, and tried to change it up.
Yeah.
So like I can show you what they was talking about. If you trying to speak on something that most supposed to be spoken to large, y'all remember I showed y'all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is what we dealing with. They care more about Western Freemason because he bragged. My teacher is Professor Leonard Jeffrey. He was a Mason. He was part of the sororities of the Omega Psi Phi and all. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So and a lot of them ones was into that type stuff.
Yeah.
They put masonry over, our people.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to put that out there so that our family can see what's going on for the record.
Islam.
At this time, we're gonna go to our brother Bati Bey and see what he got to say, and we're gonna let you take it to the third heaven, sister. We already there, but we're gonna elevate. It's the one. All right, brother Bati Bey.
Islam.
What you say, grand man?
Islam. It's.
I'm guessing.
This is wow. Just looking at this stuff, and it should be one. It should be more of an honorable situation when somebody presents you with information that that elevates your understanding of what you thought you know. That should be honorable because they pay homage to the teachers, they pay homage to the professors, they pay homage to everybody else when they give them some information, especially for free. They give them homage, they pay them homage, they bring them, they bring them apples as in a sign of, thanks for giving the wisdom. You gave me wisdom. I give you this apple. That's so anyway, neither here nor there. But when the information that you present, that you collected in this body of on those PowerPoints, and people just refute it because they know it's almost like a testament that I know I didn't do my due diligence. And since I didn't do my due diligence, I'm really beating myself up, but I'm going to express it like you are the corporate, because you're not giving out misinformation. You're giving out too much information, and I can't combat all the information that you put out. So therefore, I'm going to, stifle and, try to, like you say, cut your wisdom when you're speaking. I'm gonna try to do everything in my power is to keep the little anchor that I got in these people's mind by, creating such, I don't even know what to call it. It's like they throwing tantrums in the middle of a debate, not even a debate, but in the middle of scholarship. You're throwing a tantrum in the middle of scholarship to try to keep some type of hold on the people that you have swindled. And it's crazy. And you should just accept the information, read on it so that you can give them a more exact pronunciation of these of the material, the what they call it, the pictograms. You're gonna come out better in the end. It's just, there's no different in construction. If somebody got a new way of doing things, they don't sit over there and, oh no, we're not gonna do it this way. No, they listen, they honor, and then everybody conforms to that form of construction. Every construction company will change to that form of construction when new codes come out. They don't argue with people because they say that, well, this is obviously a better way to do what was done, and it's more structurally sound. You figured that would happen, but it's clearly that it doesn't, and it's more so a testament to their character and not yours. So with that, I leave it a come peace, Islam.
Islam and peace. And one more thing, and brother, just to give y'all something too, I want to show you this right here. This is important right here. This is very important. Now watch this. We want to give honors to this elder here, brother Walter Williams, because he was on this journey long before I was, and I just so happened to stumble across him because he wrote books on the meta not being deciphered. And he was on this show, and I was invited to this show. Brother Sarnetta to sit on the panel and draw. Now watch this. Listen to this conversation. But you would not find where the ancients ever taught anything about no symbols being no language. And that's what we keep going back and forth at, Elder. I've been telling them this. I see you've been telling them this, and I'm going to keep staying on their behind. And I just want to sit back and enjoy the show. And if you need me, I just ask for your permission to aid and assist, and I'll task behind us.
Dr. Walter Williams. Wait, first of all, Dr. Walter Williams
is what you are, Reggie.
Dr. Walter Williams, ask the brother, is the hieratic deciphered? Ask him that.
Is the hieratic demonic? Hieratic demonic? That's the alphabets. That's where the original alphabet come from. The hieratic demonic. The alphabet that the ancient Egyptians, our African ancestors, who brought civilization to this whole entire planet called Earth, they were the first literate people on planet Earth. Why? Because they created an alphabet. And that alphabet came from the hieratic demonic alphabet. Okay? And with that alphabet came the writing system. With that writing system, your ABCs is the first thing that you learn when you go to grammar school or when you enter school. And with that knowledge of an alphabet, it gives you and makes you literate. You are able to read, write, and spell with that. So that's where that came from.
Now,
the hieratic demonic.
Now, y'all see Brother Walter Williams telling Reggie the same thing that I've been stressing. Y'all heard that, right? He didn't even have to. He said the hieratic is where the alphabets come from. He thought the brother was going to go against me. And the elder went right into it and confirmed what I was saying.
That's right.
It's your first alphabet created by our ancestors. That's what I have to say about that.
And let me show you something, Reggie. Briefly. I'm going to let you speak. To show you what
since Walter Williams is talking, why don't we just talk to Dr. Walter Williams? Let's not talk to each other.
Okay.
So
I won't talk to you. I won't talk to you. I won't talk to you then.
No. It would be better for us to talk to Dr. Walter Williams, who is the expert.
Right? I got you. That's right.
I think that would be fine. So we won't waste this time.
In response of support what our elder said, I want to show our people. I ain't gonna go through it. I'm gonna just show you the difference between what Reggie think is hieroglyphics and what is real hieroglyphics right here. I'm gonna show you. I ain't even got to talk about it. I'm gonna just show you real quick. Watch this. Now, if you look here, family, and it's sideways or whatever, I can actually download it because I would like you to see it in its original tape. This is what they call the Chester Beatty papyri, for example, right? Now, this particular papyri, you can see it all crumbling. Like the elder told you, this was the actual language. Now, watch what they have up under it. This is what they would call their so-called original text in the symbols, right? So now, if the symbols were original, why aren't the symbols written on papyri? See, the hieratic is written in the actual language. You don't see no symbols. You don't see no birds. You don't see no bees. You don't see no cats and dogs. None of that. When you come up here and you come down here, this is what the European created. And my proof is right here. Oh, and this ain't just one text. Look. And this ain't just the only one. The book of Tahotep, the Maxims of Tahotep, is written in the same language, hieratic. They call that the oldest book in the world. So that killed Reggie right there. And
no, it doesn't. Can I speak?
Now, hold on. Commission Adept.
Yes, sir.
I might have to disagree with you on this because you said that this is what the Europeans created. The Europeans did not carve in stone and Kemet.
Nope.
The birds and the animals. You said that they created the
That's not what I'm saying. So
okay,
what I'm saying
brother.
is the Europeans. What I'm saying is the European created this.
Okay.
See what you see right here? They didn't. I ain't saying they carved that in stone. I'm saying they created this and said that this was the true text, but this can't be if this is the true text.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I see what
so
you're
if
saying.
we were looking at these two and the comparison between these two, which one you would say was original, my brother?
The one that's on the that one right there.
Facts. And so
Yes.
if we got all of these down here, right? And I got like 100 books with these papers in it. Different stories that done so-called been translated, let them tell it. I got all of them over here, right? And if you keep looking at all this, why are not those who claiming to be Kemetic teaching the people this?
Okay.
Since they know Kemet.
Can I speak?
Why are they not transliterating
Sonetta,
this?
can I please speak for a
And Reggie
second?
can't
All
read.
right, because I want to get back to Professor.
go
This
ahead.
is his show, y'all.
Okay. So I want to speak to that issue just real quick. Okay. So Professor Walter Williams, Dr. Walter Williams, Adept is making an argument that the hieratic can be read. You disagree with that?
It's being read every day. It's an alphabet that we use every day.
Okay, the hieratic. Okay, so but you said wait, hold on. So the hieratic is an ancient Egyptian system.
The hieratic was created by the ancient Egyptians. That's part of their alphabet that they wrote with.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Part of their alphabet.
Did they also write with the formal pictorial signs? Yes or no?
No, they didn't write with those. They drew those symbols. Those are symbols.
I'm gonna share.
Okay. Symbols of communication.
That elder man up there at age, but he's sharp. You see what I'm saying? You know, he about 90 something, but the man's sharp. And you see telling this man the same thing I'm saying. And I never really talked to the elder until the time I got on this panel with him. But it goes to show you when you doing your research and due diligence, and he done wrote books on this stuff, you know. And so like he telling you when he trying to make me wrong, the elder confirming it. You just say the elder expert, but you still don't want to listen to what I'm saying. So you see, that's why I'm saying that's cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
And our people do not want to learn. You know, they hard-headed. You know, and closing out, this is another little portion there. This is just a clip though. I want you to see. This is just going to show you it's crazy when you done heard this stuff over and over, and you still, if that's what you want to do, go with that. But don't be trying to make the people, you know, basically follow that foo-foo because that you accept it. You know what I mean? Now watch this. Instead of listening to E.A.R.S. Bud, instead of listening to Gas and Mask Pharaoh and Alan Gardenia and this so-called fake Rosetta Stone that Champollion has supposedly brought forth, how is this possible? This is what I keep asking them. How is this possible when Champollion and his text so-called came during 330 BC, which didn't have nothing to do with the old kingdom of Egypt? And they even invented more signs that don't even correspond to the ones that was already written in stone. See, that's what they don't understand. I keep telling Reggie that the real written alphabet is what we call the Re Incomet, or we call it hieratic. You will find hieratic papyri, but you would not find where the ancients ever taught anything about no symbols being no language. And that's what we keep going back and forth at. Instead of listening to E.A.R.S. Bud. You see, instead of listening to one, and we got one last little clip here. And this is the last final clip right here. So like it don't, and this like from, let me see, it's like literally 8 months ago that we was having this discussion. There it is right there.
It's over with, Reggie. I don't want to further conversation.
All right, hold on for a minute, Reggie. Hold on, Professor. Let me bring on another guest I have here. His name is Brother Commission Adept. Peace to you, Hotep, and Islam to you, brother. What's up?
Actually, it's Islam. Right here. It's right here. That's it.
So I understand from this particular dictionary. Is there any other dictionary?
Here you go, right here. Show you how sharp this elder is.
A hieroglyph. That's the term of a hieroglyph, but it doesn't say that the ancient Egyptian writing was not deciphered.
Nah, Reggie, you cut yourself, brother.
Right, here you go. The elder made him read a diction. He made him read a definition on how.
I appreciate that. I just have to find out where I lost my place in the yeah, there it goes. So I'm going to give me one more second. I'm almost there. And so let's see, American Heritage Dictionary. So let's just pull this. Very good.
Of the English language now. That's the name of the book.
No, I understand. Give me okay, there it goes. Okay, so now let's put it over here and let's share my screen. Share screen. Okay. And here. Okay. So I think this is the online version of it. See my screen? See my screen? Okay, so let's say hieroglyphics, which I typed, and let's see what comes up. This is the American Heritage Dictionary of the English Language. And let's see if it gives me, okay. So, hieroglyphic, of relating to or being a system of writing such as the ancient Egyptian, which pictorial symbols are used to represent meanings or sounds or a combination of meanings and sounds. B, written with such symbols. 2, difficult to read or decipher. 1, a hieroglyphic.
That's the answer right there.
No, it says
that's the answer right there.
It says difficult to read or decipher. Wait, let's just finish. Right. 1, a hieroglyph. Often hieroglyph is used with a singular or plural verb. Hieroglyphic writing, especially that of the ancient Egyptians. Something such as illegible or undecipherable writing that is felt to resemble a hieroglyph. That's the term of a hieroglyph. But it doesn't say that the ancient Egyptian writing was not deciphered.
Nah, Reggie, you cut yourself, brother. Nah, you cut yourself. You said they changed it and they said it can be. You
no,
cut
look
yourself,
at 1A.
Brother.
It says of relating to or being a system of writing such as the ancient Egyptian, which pictorial symbols are used to represent meanings or sounds or a combination of meanings and sounds. B, written with such symbols. And then it says 2, hieroglyphic in itself, right? A hieroglyphic is difficult to read or decipher, but it doesn't say that it wasn't deciphered.
Nah, Reggie, you cut yourself, brother. You said that they changed it and said that you can now read it, brother. That's what you said. But you cut yourself just now, and it's letting you know that it's highly difficult to read or decipher.
But
it's telling you.
But it doesn't say that it was not deciphered.
And it doesn't say it has been deciphered, which you stated that you said they changed that.
Well, yes, because they are saying that the hieroglyphic writing is especially that of the. Okay, so let's decipherment.
That's that ego again.
There's the ego. That's the ego you talked about, Professor.
No, that's not. Wait. So wait, that's not that. That is not. Let's just say that true. In this paragraph, it doesn't directly say that it was deciphered, right? So let's just say that I admit that it doesn't say that.
Thank you, Reggie.
This dictionary. All right. That it didn't say.
So let me see. Let me answer your question, Reggie. Let me ask you a question. So were you wrong? Let's see if your ego gonna let you admit. Were you wrong? Yes or no?
I wasn't completely wrong.
Brother, it's wrong or you're right. Not. What are you talking about? Is
right.
A little white lie or a little black lie? Were you wrong? Yes or no? Come on, brother. Man up.
No, I wasn't completely wrong.
Oh, man.
But because this is, how can I say, this source right here, is this the only?
You better hope Commission Adept don't call in, Reggie.
No.
He don't get it.
Is this, so I understand from this particular dictionary Is there any other dictionaries? Can we go to the Oxford Dictionary?
Nah, he sold you one dictionary.
no,
Now
can
you
we go-
looking for other dictionaries.
No,
He said
can we
it
go?
one.
Can we go to the other dictionaries, the Oxford dictionaries? Should we only take one source?
Go to whatever dictionary you want to go to it and see if they have anything about the hieroglyphics in it.
So they're talking about the concept of a hieroglyphic, but hieroglyphics are not only ancient Egyptian. Hieroglyphics, other languages use semantic and phonetic.
What language? Hieroglyphics is not a language, Reggie.
No,
language.
I didn't say
Hold
that.
up, let him finish. You did say a language, Reggie.
Okay, so let me come back and clarify. It's a writing system. It's characters of a writing system. Okay.
No, it's not a writing system. They're symbols. Symbols are not a writing system. Symbols are used to explain something. It's telling you something. And you have to use a language to explain the meaning of it.
Okay.
So Reggie, that Wikipedia that you use instead of books, and that Alexa and that group, it's not going to help you because there's too many people misinformation out there, and you gravitate to it. So, look, Reggie, your ego will not allow you to say, "Well, you know what? I was wrong." Your ego does not allow you to say that. And that's your downfall. See, in order for you to learn and evolve, you got to listen. And if you see where you made a mistake, you got to say, "Well, I made a mistake. I apologize, and I want to learn better." Okay? See, so I've done that in the past. I made mistakes. I immediately apologize to the person. Say, "Okay,
Dr. Walter Williams, we are looking at the word hieroglyphic. It says of relating to or being a system of writing, such as in Egypt, in which pictorial symbols are used to represent meanings or sounds, or a combination of meanings and sounds." Dr. Walter Williams, this has nothing to do with my ego. It says the term hieroglyphic, we're not just talking about.
You're trying to make yourself right, Reggie.
No, it says 1A. It says.
Hey, Reggie. It's over.
Hold up, Reggie.
It's over with, Reggie. I don't want to further conversation.
All right, hold on for a minute, Reggie. Hold on, Professor. Let me bring on another guest I have here. His name is Brother.
That because see, Dr. Walter Williams is I come up under his teaching and people who believe like him, and what that Reggie is doing. See, that's why I don't understand. That's why I don't recognize these people, because I come from the school of thought, the way Dr. Walter Williams was teaching this, and like you say, he got books and stuff, and he and his older as an elder in his 90s. Just imagine how strong he was when we was listening to him and coming up under him. Oh yeah, he is sharp, and I can't listen to that when you try. You just don't want to accept the truth. I can't deal with that. I don't have the patience, because you're gonna sit up there and argue with it. Yeah.
Yeah, and the elder told him after a while, he said, "Reggie, don't talk to me about no hieroglyphics no more.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to you." He said, you got an ego problem.
That's right. That's right.
And the elder basically told him the same thing that I've been saying, and he confirmed everything I said.
Yes, he did.
And like I said, I had never met the elder until that particular time. I didn't even know he had wrote like that. You know what I mean?
Yes, that been out there. Yes.
Yeah. And I seen that they wrote a book against him. The young generation wrote a book refuting his book.
Really?
Saying, they call themselves debunking the myth that the hieroglyphics ain't been deciphered. You know, so this thing is real crazy. They trying to get money out of our people, fleece
Oh,
out
yeah.
of people.
Yeah.
And, it's a sad situation, you know, when they doing this stuff. But you see, even Sarnetta, that's why I respect the brother, because
Yeah.
that's his best friend. Reggie Sarnetta best friend.
Oh,
You see Sarnetta tell him, bro, you wrong.
yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
that's what I respect about the brother. Many people may not like his delivery, but he honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
He ain't faking.
He
You know
is.
what I mean?
Mhm.
You might not agree with him not believing what you believe or seeing the way you see, but the brother real.
Yeah.
And you would rather have somebody that's real,
Mhm.
you know, demonstrating with somebody that's, you know, biased and phony and faking and so forth and so on. And so I that's why I always grace his platform when the brother call and reach out to me, you know, because I know his intent honorable. You know, like when I was speaking, you see, he didn't try to cut. He was like, no, he had a misunderstanding. But when I clarified it,
Right.
it was it.
Yeah.
So that
He
you
got
know,
it.
he wasn't trying to look for no gotcha moment.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
He understood once you went into it and
right,
explaining what you were. Yeah.
right. Whereas them other guys, like Brother Bati Bay said, they'll try to create a bunch of hoorah,
Yeah.
you know, so that the information get
Get
convoluted
lost.
and lost in the madness.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, the brother ended up shitting his
Yeah.
shoulder
Shit. Yeah. Mhm.
because he trying to clean his platform up from the
Right.
foolery, you know.
Right.
And so he looked at, you know, me as being one of the younger brothers coming through, being able to contribute to, you know, bringing our people information. Brother tired of arguing. You know, he been doing it the whole while. That brother used to stand out on the corner with them pictures of slavery, people being hung. They used to call the police on Sarnetta because he was out there in the street telling about, look at how these people did our people.
Mhm.
So he was a student of Khalid Muhammad.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, yeah, he was like supposed to be the right hand man. He was talking about how Khalid them called him up one time because he went and did something outside of the protocol, so to speak. He said they
Right.
put him in a room. He was surrounded by all the brothers. He said, but Khalid Muhammad them did him so bad. He said it made him cry.
I know.
He
I
said,
know.
but it made him stronger. He said
Yes.
the brother had a way of breaking you down and picking
Mhm.
you back up. You
Yes, he
know,
did.
yeah. So you know, we give honors to all of our family, even Reggie, because it ain't
Yeah.
no hatred, ain't no opposition
No.
coming from my end. My
Mhm.
thing is we got to admit that we wrong, and we
Yeah.
got to teach our people the truth. We can't keep teaching them a lie.
Right.
You know what I mean? Teach them the truth. That's what Prophet Noble Drew Ali said. Tell my people the truth.
Islam.
And so if you ain't gonna do it, at least be decent enough to stay out my way
Right.
when I'm teaching the people the truth. I don't need you coming up on my hill and I have to, you know, put the scimitar on you every time because you ain't been victorious now time.
Right.
You know, when you came against me, and I ain't trying to compete with you. You know, because that ain't how I teach. I don't like people don't know. I don't like to go back and forth, to be honest with you, but I love my people that's listening so much. I know I got to get out there on the front line to give them clarity. I ain't caring about the person that's coming at me. I'm more concerned with the people that's listening, you know, so they won't be took out there in that knot. You know, that be my whole intent when I demonstrate, you know, but at the same token, like I said, a lot of time them one come up at the measure, you know, you supposed to demonstrate the truth, stand on the truth, be the truth. And it gives also our Moorish kin insight on how to deal with this stuff because we gonna go through all us gonna go through similar measures trying to teach our people. You know, even not even dealing with Kemet, you gonna have people just hear the name Moors. Trust me, y'all already know, and they go crazy. They jump out the window behind that demonstration. So that's my measure right there. And we just give honors to your family. We're gonna keep bringing you the truth. It don't get no plainer than that. We're gonna always bring you the evidence. We let you even hear from the horse's mouth. You know what I mean? So gratitude, Islam. We love you.
Islam, Islam, Islam. Well, family, it's that time. January 15, 1929, a warning from the prophet to be read at every meeting. I hereby inform all citizens that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work in their homes or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards and your opinions. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be a severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any citizen or group of citizens who hold malicious feelings toward the government or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the government is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the government. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways by the order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. A holy covenant of the Asiatic nations. Ye are the children of one father, provided for by his care, and the breast of one mother have given you so. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in thy father's house. And when ye separate in the world, remember the relations that bindeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brother is in adversity, assist him. If thy sister is in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. Islam, Islam, Islam. This meeting is officially adjourned according to Act 2, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Go in peace, Moors. Islam. Great class, Dr. Shaheed. Grand class.
Islam. Good work, Scribes. Good work.
Great class, Dr. Shaheed. Gratitude, everyone.
Islam.
Love, family.
Love, family.
Islam, Moors, we love you. Grand measures, man. Y'all did grand.
Islam.
Love y'all too.
Peace and blessings.
Islam,
Peace
grand
and
man.
Islam.
We love you. We
Love
see
you.
y'all in Sunday school.
Islam.
Love.
That's where the Moorish guys and the Moorish guiders of the nation come from.
There you go.
That's right.
Love you, brother Grand Sheik.
Islam.
Islam, Angel.
Love.
Islam. Love you,
That's
Grand.
great.
Praise Allah.
Love y'all.
Islam.
Peace and love.
Family
Peace
that
and love.
prays together stays together.
That's
That's
right.
right.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's when you talk to him, meditation when you listen to him.
Islam.
Islam.
Love you, family. Peace and love.
Love y'all.
Peace and love, family.